Coach, we welcome you to a Saturday night at the old fabled Horseshoe on the West Campus. First meeting since 1956. Number 22 SMU and Duke. And the Mustangs are here looking for their third straight conference win on the road. With Tom Lugan, Bill Wester, I'm Dana Boyle in just a moment. If you know anything about the ACC standings, each of these clubs, SMU's undefeated. However, Duke's got one loss to Georgia Tech. Both are ascending programs headed into the final month of the regular season, Tom. And it feels like Rhett Lashlee could not have scripted his early orientation as a member of the ACC.
Well, they're pressing all the right buttons and hitting on all cylinders. They score on offense, they score on defense, they score in the kicking game. They're +7 in turnover margin, and they don't beat themselves. And when you consider how they got to this point, they settled in on the quarterback position with Kevin Jennings. As I referenced, they're playing great defense. They know how to win one-possession games, and they have played with a lead, and they've played from behind, and this team does not panic.
You know how big tonight is? Next Saturday night looms large, and then you see the final three to get the Mustangs to the house in the regular season. That's why some are thinking of them as a potential dark horse for the ACC championship game in Charlotte. Pardon the pun, by the way, for the first-year Mustangs. And you see they're 22nd in the country, and they've got an 8-game road win streak. Now, we'll tell you, Texas just won in Nashville. They've now won 9 straight road games. But when you look at SMU, Tom, they've won 12 straight conference games as they take the field tonight in Durham.
Well, when you bring that up with Rhett Lashlee, the first time we brought it up, he said, what? He didn't know. Right. He did not realize how far the streak had gone back. I think he kind of wished we hadn't have told him. But he's got this team believing, they're confident. They made terrific moves in the transfer portal in the offseason to bolster both sides of the line of scrimmage, which is why they're so competitive right now.
Well, and if Rhett Lashlee's done a good job in his first year, likewise for his buddy and good friend Manny Diaz, because he's got a group, Tom. He's a defensive-minded guy. He's got a defensive-minded football team.
All they do is create havoc. They disrupt the opposing offensive front. They play on the other side of the line of scrimmage. So with Duke, what they're doing with great energy, great effort, is they put everybody behind the chains. So now instead of getting ahead of the chains on 2nd down or 3rd down, you're in 2nd and 8. You're in 3rd and 8+ because of how disruptive they are at the point of attack.
Well, you better get ready. Names like Anthony Williams, Kendi Charles tonight, Aaron Hall. Those guys are all going to be in the mix tonight. They got terrific linebackers, including their leading tackler, Alex Howard.
Yeah, Alex Howard's a guy that can play all over the place, and the linebackers are all interchangeable on this football team, and they're also all very, very good pass rushers. So that's where a lot of the disruptiveness comes in. It's from the 2nd level.
All right, you get a look at Alex Howard.
Tonight. Take a quick second, introduce yourselves.
Standing now with Rhett Lashlee.
Coach, your Mustangs have an opportunity tonight to win a 3rd straight conference game on the road on a different coast, mind you. How have you challenged your team to remain focused for the full 60 minutes?
Yeah, we just worried about ourselves. We haven't worried about the coast to coast. We haven't talked about streaks. We've talked about chasing our standard and being the most physical team for 4 quarters, and we're definitely going to have to do that.
Your offense has a reputation for spreading the football, but you'll be without R.J. Maryland, who gave your offense that full catalog. He's out with a season-ending injury. How do you adjust in his absence?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, R.J.'s a big loss. He's a big part of our team, but we got plenty of playmakers around him. Guys got to step up. We're a team offense, and we'll be okay.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks.
All right, thanks to Rhett Lashlee. SMU won the toss. Mustangs want the ball. And there's his good friend and former boss, Tom, Manny Diaz. And here's one of the sidebars tonight. Now, every once in a while, you'll run across a game where the head coaches know each other.
Sure.
Maybe a coordinator and a head coach on the other team. I dare say this ball game tonight is more intertwined between 2 staffs than any other game you'll see this year in college football.
Maybe any other game I've been a part of in the last 20 years here at ESPN. And you're talking about a group of young coaches that kind of grew up together. At one point, Coach Brewer at Duke, all right, Coach Simons at SMU, they were GAs at one point. You take a look at Rhett Lashlee working for Manny Diaz at the University of Miami. Right in the middle right there is you-know-who, De'Aaron King, who's the quarterback's coach here at SMU. And so you're right, so many relationships. You know what? So much knowledge of one another to see who's got the upper hand tonight.
It's very interesting to talk to the coaches about the defensive systems and the offensive systems and how they know what each other are doing.
Yep.
And then, you know, the heritage of just both staffs is fascinating to tonight's game.
Well, and that's why it comes down to execution, right? They know each other and they understand what each team's trying to accomplish on offense, defense, and in the kicking game. But if you go out and worry about yourself and you execute and you play smart football, the team with the better players will win the game.
Brashard Smith is deep to return for SMU. He is 4th in the ACC, top 30 nationally, and kickoff return average at just under 22 yards. And the Blue Devils' Todd Polino will kick it away. And just the 3rd meeting ever. They're going to hang this up short, and it's going to be played on the hop by Roderick Daniels. He's going to take off to the far side. Here's Daniels trying to get the edge at the 25, out of bounds around the 32-yard line. Here's where Roderick Daniels is pushed out. So now here comes Kevin Jennings, making just his 7th start. Remember, he took the job before the TCU game, Tom, and those are his numbers in ACC play.
Look at that. Look at the productivity, and that's really why this job became his. Consistent performance and the ability to attack every nook and cranny of the field with his arm and his legs.
First play of the game, a shot to the right. And that is Jordan Hudson, his 14th catch of the year. He's had 10 grabs for 100 yards in their last 4 ball games coming in.
So Dana mentioned to Coach Rhett Lashley about the absence of R.J. Maryland, and it is a big loss from a matchup standpoint, but this team really disperses the ball all across the field. There's plenty of weapons for SMU.
And here's the bounce out, and Brashard Smith's first carry of the night. There's a flag thrown, and that is Alex Howard making the tackle.
There is a flag.
And Brashard Smith brought down around the 38. And we will visit for the first time tonight with Mike Roach, the referee, as assigned by the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 3. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Alex Howard here you see in pursuit. He's chasing, and when you reach like that and you reach high, you put yourself in jeopardy of committing that foul. It's a good call by the officiating crew. And again, great effort. Just get your hands down. And now you got great field position for SMU on offense.
Off the Duke 47. Jennings slips it on the perimeter. Around the corner goes Brashard Smith. And inside the 35 toward the 33, and another SMU first down. Terry Moore and Trey Freeman make the stop on the dangerous Brashard Smith.
Well, I love the creativity there offensively off of the play action pass in the backfield, getting Kevin Jennings moving the pocket. But in case Brashard Smith looks like a wideout to you, it's because he was one. And that's what makes him so versatile in this offense. He'll line up in the backfield as a tailback, as a slot, and even on the outside.
Matthew Hittner, who we think will take a lot of the load that R.J. Maryland had, is lined up as an H-back to the right here for 1st and 10. Smith through the gap. Will pick up right about 3, maybe 4 on the play. Got tripped up by Wesley Williams. He's one of those guys on the front 4, redshirt sophomore. There's Hittner, 88. The Mustangs in a little tempo move here. And this is L.J. Johnson's first carry of the night. Inside the 25, close to a first down, and we'll get the first third down of the night on another Wesley Williams tackle.
And here's SMU running up to the football. They're going to go fast-paced, and they're going to force Duke to play with the personnel they have on the field here on 3rd and 1.
Duke is first in the ACC, 7th nationally, defending 3rd down. Here's Johnson, and he will have the first down to the 21. Ozzie Nicholas, transfer from Princeton, makes the stop for Duke. There's a look at one of Luganville's favorite players in the SEC, in the ACC rather.
RoboCop, the Erector Set, Iron Man, call him whatever you want. This guy's got a brace for every limb. He plays his tail off.
Oh,
he may not be as smooth and fluid as you'd like, but it's probably because he's put together with metal and, and chains. And he's your typical middle linebacker. I love him.
There's a first down play. Jennings will keep it this time. Kevin Jennings to the 15. Pickup of 6 on first down. Jennings comes into the game, by the way, the 2nd leading rusher for SMU at almost 300 yards on the year.
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff is improvised plays after the initial play has broken down. Some of it's a designated run, as we saw right there, as SMU is off to a hot start for the 2nd week in a row.
Red zone opportunity for the Mustangs straight away. Brashard Smith will make it 1st and goal. Nicholas makes the tackle, by the way. playing in his 33rd career game tonight. So now SMU, who is 7th in the ACC, this is their 7th possession in conference play, Tom. They've had 4 touchdowns, 1 field goal, and 1 turnover in their previous 6. Hibner is the tight end to the left. 1st and goal. And here goes Jennings again to the 5 and knocked out at the 4. So take me through no R.J. Maryland, who's a red zone target.
Sure.
The run game with Bashard Smith is strong, and now has Red Lashley just uncorked another valve in his offense against Manny Diaz's group here on this opening possession with Jennings' run game?
Yeah, I think that, and I also think the fact that SMU is huddling. Look at their huddling. A lot of this is because these stats, as we mentioned, are so familiar with each other.
Sure.
They know the signals. They know the pictures on the big signs on the sideline. They want to try and keep things close to the vest here, so got Duke on their heels a little bit.
The tight end, Hibner, and Hudson to the right. And then you've got Jake Bailey and Keyshawn Smith to the boundary side, and now an SMU timeout. Called by the
SMU
bench.
takes its first time out of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
And 4 minutes and 13 seconds gone in this opening period. Rhett Lashley wants to talk with his group here before 2nd and goal.
You know, going back to what you had asked in relationship to how SMU is attacking this Duke defense, the big guy in the red zone will now be Jordan Hudson. That's going to be your go up and catch it. They got a one-on-one jump ball situation. That's number 8 because they don't have R.J. Maryland. The loss of R.J. Maryland, the reason why it is so critical is you have to determine defensively how you are going to treat him. Were you going to treat him as a wide receiver and be in nickel defense with an extra defensive back? Were you going to treat him as a true tight end and you're going to stay in base? The problem is if you stay in base and they motion him out or he shifts to one side of the formation, you may be stuck walking a linebacker out on him. So you no longer have that luxury now if you're SMU on offense with the absence of R.J. Maryland.
So you got Stone Eby and Matthew Hibner. They're locked up to the left on this formation. And in the pistol is L.J. Johnson. And the ball popped loose, and Duke's got the turnover. A little mix-up on the handoff with Kevin Jennings and L.J. Johnson, and Ryan Smith comes up with the Duke recovery. A veteran player, grad student in his 51st game, makes the game's biggest play so far.
Well, number 40, Ryan Smith, just connects with the mesh point right there and puts his left hand and fist right on the ball in the gut of L.J. Johnson. And that looked like a scenario where L.J. Johnson wasn't quite sure he should have been taking it and maybe wasn't quite sure if Kevin Jennings was going to pull it because neither one of the two players was sure on who should have the football.
So Ryan Smith comes up with the giveaway by the Mustangs. His 2nd fumble recovery in as many games. And here is Malik Murphy and the Blue Devils from inside the 10, and a long shot to the far side. That's Pancol, the catch, slung out of bounds at the 20. That'll be a 1st down. 12-yard throw, and right away you see the big arm from the young man from Inglewood, California.
Yeah, make the gimmies, make the automatics automatic, which is exactly what he did right there. Nice little curl route to the top, wide open, play, pitch, and catch.
And the 1st down give, Star Thomas. Cuts for about 3, maybe 4 to the 24. And Isaiah Wachovia, the junior from Skyline in Dallas, comes down from the safety spot to make the play. This is a hard tackling, pretty good defense that Scott Simons has got for SMU against an offense that won last week with less than 200 yards. And here's Murphy, fumbles the snap, going to pick it up, and he got pulled down. And that was Jared Harrison Hunt, who reached out and got Murphy by the shoe tops to get him on the ground. 3rd down now.
Yeah, big 3rd down coming now, and it's this football team in Duke offensively is 16th in the conference on 3rd down. This has not been a good down. He just drops the football, doesn't keep his eyes on it out of the shotgun. Fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage, but 3rd down has not been friendly to the Duke offense so far this year.
Blue Devils are 19% in conference play. SMU allowing opponents just 23% conversion in league play. Here's Murphy trying to fire one in the middle, does, and Pankol's got another catch and a 1st down for the Blue Devils. Wachovia makes the stop, but Eli Panko in his 52nd collegiate game, Tom, has picked up catches 26 and 27 here in the first drive.
Really nice job there, just settling into the void of the zone defense.
And the Blue Devils with a little bit of tempo. Another throw on the perimeter. Panko again sneaks up the far side. That'll be a gain of about 7, almost 8 on the play.
Well, Jonathan Brewer, the offensive coordinator, Duke, he told us, he said, listen, they're going to be in zone defense. We got to pick our spots, but really what we got to do is pick them apart underneath, hit the easy ones, and then when we have an opportunity to see them tighten up, take a shot over the top.
Second down and short. Murphy. Long ball and overthrows Jordan Moore. There's a marker on the play. This could be against Brandon Crossley in coverage with Jordan Moore. And I'm not sure that, Tom, this didn't happen on the stop.
Pass interference. Defense number 1. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
There's that shot I talked about. After you dink and dunk a little bit and then get over the top. So you got the stutter go. And then Crossley just hooks him with his left arm, tries to hook Moore's left arm as well. It's a good call by the officiating crew right there. Really good route. And Crossley did it because he had to. He was going to get beat down the sideline.
Peyton Jones is coming the ball game with Murphy. Duke's got 1st and 10 in SMU territory after the penalty. And here is Jones's first carry. And Peyton Jones, who's their 2nd leading rusher, that's his 49th carry of the year. Just inside of 200 yards for Jones, the sophomore from Norfolk, Virginia.
See number 46, Tony Boggs, is in there as a fullback, H-back, tight end type. The world has spun back onto its axis because we have a fullback in the game. So we're all feeling really good about that because the loss of Nicky Dalmolin and Jeremiah Hazley, the 2 tight ends, are not available tonight for this Duke offense.
Second down for Murphy. Going to take another shot, this time looking downfield. That's Brown, and he can't haul it in. Quayshawn Brown, the redshirt freshman, defended by Ahmad Moses. Well, we've seen 2 really good battles downfield in the throw game.
Yeah, and it's tough, you know, on a vertical throw to a guy like Quayshawn Brown, who's only 5'8". You want to try and throw that over the top and let him run underneath it. It's not bad coverage. Good effort by both players. Just a little overthrown from Malik Murphy.
Brown comes out of the game. You get a look at Moses. 3rd and 11 now for Murphy and the Blue Devils. Straight drop, pressure coming, and flips it out on the perimeter. That's Thomas. He'll be tackled at the 40. Nice play by Kobe Wilson, the linebacker. He and Wachovia both in the neighborhood there to get Star Thomas on the ground.
That's a fantastic job by Kobe Wilson because he's coming off the edge and he sees the screen. He tries to jump up and bat the ball and then gets on his horse and finishes with great effort to make the tackle, cause a 4th and 6 here.
Blue Devils 4th and 6 in plus territory.
I like it.
Yep.
They know against this SMU offense, they have got to maintain possession of the ball and get points.
3 to the field, 2 to the boundary from Murphy here. Here comes the pressure. Quick throw back across the middle, broken up. Trying to get it to Samir Hagans, and Moses was there again defensively for the Mustangs. SMU threatened, turned it over. Duke gives it back in plus territory when we continue from Durham. Well, if you followed the Mustangs' first year in the Atlantic Coast Conference, you know last week, well, we were with them out in Santa Clara County in Stanford, California. A smooth 17:06 from the Metroplex. This week, just a hop, 11:65 for their 2nd visit ever to the Duke campus. Nothing on the first down give to Bouchard Smith. Rhett Lashley, I think the silo mentality week to week's been pretty valuable to his team, Tom, in that light.
Well, his team's done a remarkable job of focusing on what's in front of them each and every day. They haven't gotten ahead of themselves. They haven't been caught reading their press clippings. They just play smart football and they handle each and every game as it comes.
2nd and 10, pressure coming from Smith, and a catch by Bailey, incomplete. Here's the ruling at the 47-yard line of Duke. Jalen Stinson starting for the 39th time in 56 7 games there to make the play.
This is close for Jake Bailey. Just come out of his outstretched fingers. And now again a big 3rd and 10. Duke on defense only allowing 27% of the opposition's conversion on 3rd down. Tops in the ACC.
Yep. Conference play, it's even better than that. Here's another throw to Bailey, trying to ride a block here to the near side. He'll be tripped up at the 45. Play made by Kamari Robinson and Chandler Rivers, both down there for the Blue Devils defensively. And we're going to get our first look at Isaac Pearson, the Aussie, to punt the ball away. Quayshawn Brown deep to receive the punt. SMU goes 3 and out on their second try. Just the 12th 3 and out of the year for the Mustangs. Pearson trying to flip this over. Brown will signal for and make the fair catch at the 5. So Malik Murphy and Duke start deep in their own territory. We're still scoreless tonight on ACC Network. Well, we welcome you back to Durham. And how about ACC men's basketball tomorrow night, 7 o'clock? An exhibition mashup between John Shire's 7th-ranked Duke team and Bobby Hurley's Sun Devils.
Yeah.
Have come in from the desert. Arizona State will be here, of course, with Duke. That means you're going to get to see the rookie phenom Cooper Flagg. And, oh, my goodness, there's Hurley on a dish to Brian Davis for the dunk on Corciani. There's Angola, New York's Christian Laettner. And how about a little something at Cole Fieldhouse for the Maryland folks who may be dialed in? Or maybe they've done it at Little John when he dumped the 3 on top of Marion Cash. Oh, my God. 91-92 national champions for Mike Krzyzewski. Here's Duke off its own 5. And a pickup of 5 for Star Thomas, Dana.
There's a noticeable effort from head coach Manny Diaz when Quayshawn Brown comes off the field. He's encouraging him. He says, keep running. They can't catch you, especially with the limited, uncertain availability of Georgia Moore. They're going to need him to make plays tonight.
Yeah, we didn't know how many snaps we'd see Moore.
Well, he's already garnered 1 defensive pass interference, so his presence out there has got SMU's attention.
Yep. Moore's had 8 catches in the last 4 ball games for the Blue Devils. Here's Murphy, another big shot. That's caught at the top of the route near a 1st down. And that is Samir Hagans against Cale Sanders, the nickel in the SMU plan of Scott Simons, their defensive coordinator.
Now, Scott Simons loves to keep the ball in front of him, and rarely do you see a missed tackle that takes a short play and turns it into a long one against this defense.
Murphy on a play fake. Now across the middle, Pancol another catch out to the 35. You know, Tom, we talked about the absence of R.J. Maryland without Nicky Dalmolen, right? Duke's got to find another guy in the throw game, and might be Pancol tonight.
Yeah, Pancol right there, contested across the middle on the RPO and throwing the glance right behind it. And so far, very impressed tonight with Malik Murphy's accuracy.
Had 10 catches and a touchdown his last 3 ball games coming in. He's got a 19-yard throw there. That almost got picked by a Mustang because Ahmad Walker, the linebacker, had crossed back in space.
It's just a great effort play. You see Ahmad Walker keying the quarterback, looking at the eyes of the quarterback, sinking into his hook to curl responsibility in their zone concepts. They're a 3-deep zone based team, SMU on defense. And this is why you're seeing a lot of underneath stuff where they're just asking Malik Murphy to find a guy, locate him in soft coverage, and play pitch and catch.
Mustangs rush 3. Pancol another catch, breaks away, 2nd and 3rd effort. We'll get him the Blue Devil 1st down to the 47. Really like the attitude the veterans bringing to the table tonight for Manny Diaz.
Absolutely. Guys stepping up. Want to try and get the run game going here a little bit for Duke, but everything is opening up in the passing game right now.
5 catches, 59 yards now for Eli Pancol. 4 minutes to go. Quick shot to the perimeter. This is Brown, who Dana spoke of just a moment ago. He'll rip off 9 on 1st down before Wachovia the stop. And Duke going to huddle here.
They talked about that with us this week. Jonathan Brewer, the offensive coordinator, again not wanting to divulge signals and signage on the sideline, things that they're aware of. Now with the radio and the helmet and the communication, they can eliminate some of that espionage.
2nd and 1. Here's Murphy. Hit as he throws, incomplete, and he almost threw another one to Walker there. It was Wachovia who was routing around into the Duke backfield to get a shot at Murphy from his safety spot here, Tom.
Yeah, I see 23 on the right side of your screen. He's going to come off the edge late, and the back's late to get to him. Gives a nice effort. But still, Wachovia able to affect the arm of Malik Murphy. You know, we met Malik Murphy's father in the elevator coming up from the field, and he said, hey, he goes, Luke, what does my son need to do tonight? And I said, don't miss the layups.
Yep.
And so far, he's making the layups.
3rd and 1. Peyton Jones with a first down carry, I believe, here to the 43. Yes, they're going to confirm it. It'll be a Blue Devil first down.
I like this game plan so far for Duke. They've got SMU guessing a little bit because you're seeing a little bit of everything. You're seeing the quick screen game to the boundary, the quick screen game to the field. We're throwing the underneath slants and the RPOs and the hitches and the dink and dunk stuff, methodically moving the ball through the air.
Murphy's also stayed away from the other way.
Absolutely.
The throw that gets him in trouble.
Gets him in trouble and missing open guys. He hasn't done that tonight. So off to a good start with this offense.
Pressure coming. Murphy going to take the shot. Here's Brown on a blur. Caught it. Touchdown, Duke. Second touchdown catch of the year for Quayshawn Brown.
You're going to see right there, he's in the slot, and he's just going to run by on the fade. And this is exactly what Dana was talking about when she heard Coach Manny Diaz right there telling him, just keep running. They can't run with you. Keep running. That time he does. Malik Murphy drops it in the bucket.
9 plays, 13 yards, or 9 of 13 is Murphy for 123 and a touchdown. It's a 9-play, 95-yard drive in 3:07, and Quayshawn Brown. Just keep running, Quayshawn. He ran right in to a touchdown. Duke on the board first tonight on ACC Network Primetime. Quayshawn Brown, the redshirt freshman, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, longest scoring drive of the year for the Blue Devils. Career-long catch for Brown, 43 yards. Duke's taking a 7-0 lead on SMU, and Ryan Degansky will kick it away. No return from Brashard Smith, and SMU going to scrimmage from its 25. Malik Murphy and Quayshawn Brown comparing notes.
This is a really nice job right here. SMU is going to come off the edge right there. They're going to go safety to the middle, and now you've got this one-on-one. That's Cale Sanders at safety and Quayshawn Brown for the inside fade right here, and there is no safety help that should scare Malik Murphy away from making this throw. It's an easy one-on-one, drop it in the bucket. That time Quayshawn Brown takes off, turns on the jets, and it was really the perfect play call versus the pressure that SMU wanted to bring.
And here go the Mustangs now trying to answer the Duke call. Brashard Smith with 6 yards on the first down carry. Jalen Stinson the stop of Brashard Smith. Interesting to see how Lashley's team handles falling behind here, Tom.
Well, have you noticed how much they've slowed down, right? They want to go fast, but you can't go fast if you're not getting first downs. So it takes you a little bit out of your element.
They've outscored opponents 87-31 in the first quarter this year, but Duke's got the early lead. There goes Smith. He'll break the line for the first down to the 36. Kendi Charles. Now you talk about the intertwining of these two staffs. They're players that intertwine here tonight.
Yeah.
Kendi Charles played at Liberty. One of his teammates at Liberty was Ahmad Walker, who plays for SMU now. Here's Jennings up in the pocket to his left. Is he going to throw? Sure. Sidearm shot, and it's caught. And that is Keyshawn Smith, and I believe is a catch at the 42 of Duke. A little bit of discussion going on here.
ruling on the field is a completed catch for first down.
We're getting a couple looks here, Lugs.
Yep.
Previous plays under further review.
Is that a toe drag on a 23-yard grab by Keyshawn Smith?
So it looks like we've got a toe drag, but then we have to make sure he's completed the act of the catch and secures the football prior to hitting the ground. Is that ball bobbling loose a little bit in the carriage there? Take a look at what this review is going to reveal. Take another look right here. So he's dragged the toe, it appears. And did he secure the football? I think that's going to be tough to overturn.
Catch on the field was the call.
Correct.
There's the left toe, I think.
Yep.
And
yes.
Kind of got the ball through the catch, right?
That's a catch.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was some kind of play by Jennings and, by the way, Keyshawn Smith.
Fantastic. I mean, Kevin Jennings is rolling to his left as a right-handed quarterback and had to square his shoulders to get that ball out of his hand with some zip, some power. That's a tremendous effort by Keyshawn Smith on the sideline.
Not surprising. A lot of guys on the Duke bench thought it was incomplete. Yeah.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. It'll be first down.
There you go. By the way, very efficient on all ends by our officiating crew. Of course, the folks at the command center in Charlotte.
Well, that wasn't an easy call to make on the field, though. You know, because you're so close to the sideline and you're trying to see the feet, but you're also trying to see the act of the catch.
So from the Duke 42, Jennings is 4 of his first 5. That's Bailey through the formation. Pressure coming. Jennings runs to the right. And there's Matthew Hibner with the catch and down the far sideline for another Mustang first down. So there is Matthew Hibner, who played 28 career games in Michigan and had a grand total of 2 catches. Now, he does have a national championship ring and all the gear, but that's his 3rd catch of the year for the Mustangs. 16-yard play, and now Brashard Smith trying to find a path in the run game here. And that will take him near a first down.
No, this is the 3rd time we've had SMU. And on 2 previous occasions, Rhett Lashley, the head coach, unsolicited, brought up Matthew Hibner's ability level and the fact that people just haven't seen it because of the offense at Michigan, right? And that he wasn't that type of guy. And now we've got the injury to R.J. Maryland. You're now going to see a healthy dose of Hibner, clearly a capable athletic pass catcher.
By the way, he's from Northern Virginia, went to Lake Braddock High School. Went to Ann Arbor, played for Harbaugh, won the title, and now in Dallas for Lashley. And he was a coveted guy in the portal, Ludes, from all accounts.
Very much so. 6'5", 251-pound tight ends.
Yep.
We'd like to have a couple of those.
Straight away, LJ, or no, this is Daniels. Roderick Daniels' first carry of the night. We've seen LJ Johnson, Brashard Smith, and now Roderick Daniels in the run game. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, Rhett Lashley just goes into the SMU garage and he pulls off the Swiss Army knife off the wall of what he wants to use each and every play, because
that's the end of the first quarter.
Because Daniels is going to line up at running back, then he's going to line up at receiver, and then he's going to return kicks and punts. So is Brashard Smith. All right, this is a versatile group of offensive weapons.
Yep. Through 15 minutes of play, Duke's got the only mark in the game on a Murphy to Brown touchdown. Well, we go to quarter number 2 at Wallace Wade Stadium, playing on Brooks Field tonight here in Durham. LJ Johnson with Kevin Jennings. 2nd down inside the Duke 10. Here goes Johnson. And a flag is thrown as he's taken down by Nicholas. This is in the neighborhood of a hold, too. Let's see what Mike Roach and his crew have come up with.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 45. Penalty been forced half the distance to the goal, includes an automatic first down.
They got to understand, Luganville was a quarterback, folks, in his day, but he has great respect for throwback linebackers, and this guy's one of them.
certainly is, and you see him just pull again. It's like we saw earlier with Alex Howard. If you go high, you're just subjecting yourself, and you start grabbing to a foul.
First and goal after the penalty. Here's Jennings to his right, and he'll throw, and Hibner almost made a heck of a catch with Freeman defending. That's a pretty good matchup, by the way, with Matthew Hibner and Trey Freeman, who is terrific at linebacker for the Blue Devils.
Trying to hit Hibner out here in the flat. He tries to turn it up and make something happen. There's nowhere to go with the football. I like the intent there with the throw, because you got a 6'5" tight end versus a 5'11" defender, so it's not an overly risky throw. It's either going to be incomplete or it's going to be a catch. You live to play the next down.
Probably the same window he would have thrown it to Maryland.
Absolutely.
Yep. So now second and goal. That's EB in motion, hand to L.J. Johnson. Took a hit at the 3, falls forward toward the 2. Nicholas again the hit on L.J. Johnson. He's 220 pounds from Cypress, Texas. Brashard Smith, 196 from Richmond Heights, Florida.
Yeah.
Different customer depending on who's carrying the football.
Well, they've got some thunder and lightning, and that's one of the reasons why Johnson's in the game right now.
You're running this, Tom?
I would run it, but I think it's going to be. I think they're going to take 2 downs here. They don't get this. I expect Brett Lashley to go for it on 4th.
That's Hudson in motion. Here goes Jennings to the right. He'll turn it up and get knocked at the 1. Ball popped out, but I think SMU fell on it. Michael Reese punched it out. And let's see, I think Logan Parr fell on it. Big 71.
Yeah. And as a result, Duke ends up losing a yard here because of where he gets to about the 1, but then the ball goes backwards.
Boy, that was out, too.
That was out. Very, very fortunate. That's twice now. You've had a loose ball. 1 loss on the first series for SMU and a narrow loss there.
Stone Eby's come in. He's the fullback. Brashard Smith, tail of the eye. There's a pitch to the far side. Foot race. Stinson hems up Smith. Took a shot. Falls into the end zone. SMU touchdown for Brashard Smith.
Wow.
What a play on both ends. And Smith wins the battle for the SMU score.
What an absolutely fantastic individual effort. That's a linebacker. That's number 12. That's Trey Freeman. When Brashard Smith decides to lower his shoulder, that's 6 foot, 235 pounds. And Brashard Smith's a former wide receiver at 196. Whoa. So that'll get your teammates' attention.
Sure will. 12 plays, 75 yards, and 238. Game tied on the extra point. Everybody thinks these plays are always easy, Tom.
They ain't easy, but I'll tell you one thing. This young man made a conscious choice, and he chose violence. Look at him lower the shoulder to tie it up here at Duke.
Seven all. We're almost 2 minutes into the second quarter at Wallace Wade Stadium tonight in Durham, and Brashard Smith's got his 8th rushing score of the year, and the ball game is tied, and the kick will not be returned. Duke will start from its 25. So time for tonight's dynamic play of the game. Tom Luganville, brought to you by T. Rowe Price.
And none other than Brashard Smith on that very last touchdown run. Once he makes this choice right there to cut back inside, it's like, well, here we go. I got no other choice but to lower the boom on number 12, who's one of the better players for Duke, and Trey Freeman at, again, 230 pounds. And Brashard Smith, the former wide receiver, converted tailback, jack of all trades, won that battle. Lowest man wins.
I'll tell you what, it's interesting to listen to Rhett Lashley talk about Brashard Smith, Manny Diaz talk about Brashard Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, just because the recruiting process, he started his career playing for both at Miami as a receiver. So here's Murphy and the Blue Devils from the 25 in a tie game. Quick throw to the perimeter. That's Hagans. And Samir Hagans will be taken down by Moses. Very little, if any, gain on the play. The more you see Ahmad Moses, you like the way he plays the football in space.
Oh, he plays fast. He leveraged the football there, split two blockers, and was able to make the tackle in space. As we referenced earlier, you're not going to see a bunch of leaky yardage against this team. sure what the holdup is here.
And Murphy stepped out just to get the call through the system, didn't he, Tom?
Yep, looks like it. Taking their own sweet time, too.
Jake Taylor, the tight end, is slot left to the near side. Murphy wants to throw and whizzed it right by Harvey.
And that right there, Wes, is an example of what we talked about, right? You can't miss those layups. You've got the curl rock coming right back down the stem at you. He's wide open. Pitch and catch. Make that throw. And he's made that throw tonight up until that moment, and he knows it.
There's 10 of 15 now in the ball game. 123 in the touchdown to Quayshawn Brown. Remember, Duke won that game last Friday night with less than 200 yards of total offense, in part because their defense forced Florida State into 3 straight turnovers.
Right.
Third and a full 10. Murphy. Again, the shot. That is caught, and that's Harvey for the first down at the 40. Now, Tom, you've forgotten more quarterbacking than I'll know, but it looks like Murphy takes a little off this.
Well, he took some off of it, but you got to understand the level of arm strength that you got to have to make that throw when you're falling back and your feet aren't set. That was all arm.
Seeing the Blue Devils quick to the snap. Harvey again. Interesting, too, that Jonathan Brewer started Pancole early, got him rolling, and now all of a sudden it may be Javon Harvey's time. The transfer from Old Dominion. Second down. And Star Thomas. Run game's been a little quiet. Thomas got flipped over. Moses down again from the safety spot to make the play on the New Mexico State transfer.
Ahmad Moses may only be about 5'10", 200 pounds, but he plays like he's 6'3". He'll insert. You see him low right there on Star Thomas.
Looked like a little guy play like a big guy deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I think one of the things, too, as it relates to this Duke passing game, at some point or another, Scott Simons, the defensive coordinator at SMU, is going to have to start pressuring Malik Murphy. He's going to have to come after him a little bit, dial up a couple of risks to get him off center.
2-by-2 look for Murphy. Another quick shot, way off target that time, looking for Harvey again. There were white shirts around him, too.
Yeah.
Crossley, the corner was right there.
You know, Crossley's involved in a lot of these targets. And again, just thrown over the outstretched arms of Harvey. If you stick it on him, you probably got a catch there. Instead, we got a punt.
Reynoldson, the freshman punter from Queensland, Australia. The top rookie punter in the ACC and one of the best in the country, Tom. Averaging 44.5 to his right. And going to try and flip this over inside the 20. And that was Daniels who came up to make the play. A fair catch in traffic. Rhett Lashley thought he was bumped and contact. No flag. We step away. Saturday night from Durham continues. Seven all with just 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter. Don't forget, ACC Huddle After Dark tonight, Lukes. Last Saturday in October, full slate of games. Heck, they can go back to Thursday if they want to. Taylor Tannenbaum, E.J. Manuel, Eric McClain, Coach Richt, Eddie Royal, and going to break, Rhett Lashley wanted to know maybe Roderick Daniels was interfered with here on the catch. You decide at home here.
There's the fair catch, and then you're going to see some contact with his right knee of the cover player.
Yep. That is
23.
Diakite. Here's SMU off the 15-yard line. Jennings, a shot here to the near side. There's Matthew Hibner for 5. Stretches it out for 8. Terry Moore the stop. So Rhett Lashley wanted to know.
I don't blame him. Because look at it from a field position standpoint. You're tacking on some yardage there.
Yep. Second down give is Brashard Smith. By the way, for the record, Hibner's got a couple of catches here in this first half. And there is the 41-year-old native of Springdale, Arkansas, coaching tonight in his 35th game with the Mustangs. Winner of 24 of his first 34. And now 3rd and 1. Keep an eye on Jake Bailey, Tom. He always seems to find a way to be around the football for SMU. Gonna go straight ahead. Brashard Smith, first down run. Banged right into Nicholas, and there is Cam Bergeron as well. Senior from Westover High School, Albany, Georgia, who's playing in his 41st game tonight. And Manny Diaz went on and on and on about Bergeron.
Well, really, Bergeron, Trey Freeman 12, and Alex Howard 3, just because they're all interchangeable. They can play Sam, they can play Will, they can play in the middle.
Little reverse, and this is Hudson to the far side and got flipped over as he turned the 30-yard line, and a Blue Devil still down on the play. Savion Byrd could not quite seal that block, and Chandler Rivers is down.
He made a heck of a play on this tackle.
Timeout for an injured player on the defense. Timeout on the field.
So they're going to tend to Rivers, and we're going to take a break. Timeout on the field in Durham. We're tied at 7 when we come back.
All right.
Well, Chandler Rivers was able to make it off the field. Junior from Beaumont, Texas. Terrific player, by the way. 34th career game tonight. He had a pick 6 last Friday night in here against the Noles. And we join live action, 2nd down and 2 here for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Kamari Robinson, number 5, comes in at corner.
Yep.
Down to the bottom of your screen.
When you see now that Jordan Hudson's going to move to the boundary side here. And L.J. Johnson, Tom's a running back. He'll get the call here, and first down to the Mustang 40-yard line. Michael Reese, the stop for the Blue Devils. It's fun to watch these guys draw up. As Spurrier would say, who's here tonight, fun to see these boys draw up ball plays.
Ball plays, that's exactly right.
Yep. Here's Jennings, wants to throw, pressure coming, gonna sail it for Hudson, out of bounds. That was a throwaway as much as it was a getaway for Kevin Jennings.
And that's why he's the quarterback of this football team. Rarely puts the team in danger, rarely takes risk with the football, at least ones that aren't calculated. He's under duress there, get the ball out, 2nd and 10. The thing I was gonna say before that play is, Duke's got to be somewhat frustrated because they haven't been able to get SMU behind the chains. SMU stayed ahead of the chains. That's limited the tackles for loss and the disruptiveness that we talked about with this Duke defense.
2nd and the full 10 after the incomplete pass from Jennings. Play fake. He wanted to shoot it. Now he's going to tuck and run. And this is where Kevin Jennings can get you too. That's a first down. Slung out of bounds on the far side by Ryan Smith. 12-yard run for Kevin Jennings. We saw him run it in their opening drive tonight. Not much sense.
Well, you see the front door open up, and he decides to take it. And you know that's part of the read now with the mobile dual threat quarterback. 1, 2, you don't like it, run.
First down give. Here's Brashard Smith weaving into the secondary. Picks up 9 on the play to the 39. Deshaun Stone, very talented redshirt freshman from Asheville, North Carolina, makes the play.
Look at Brashard Smith. He is a slippery rascal. Look at him. I mean,
Here's Smith. No, fake, play fake. Is that ball picked? It is. It's intercepted by Terry Moore, but there's a flag on the play. Here's Mike Roach.
Pass interference, defense, number 26. Ball be placed in the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
So did Pickett interfere here on the and the ball got batted into the air, I think, and then Moore caught it on the deflection,
correct,
right?
Yeah, correct. So Pickett's all over Moochie Dixon, who's running the glance route or the slant route right there on the inside off of the RPO, and that's what they got him on, over the top of the shoulder. And that's where the ball was secured. What a great individual play by Terry Moore. But you just can't crawl over the back of an intended target prior to the ball's arrival.
Fresh set of downs at the 27. Jennings, quick shot, batted away. VJ Anthony, a candidate for the deflection here.
Yep.
Former Jordan Falcon from here in Durham.
You see his height at 6'6", and Kevin Jennings is
Not 6'6".
5'11" on a great day. And if you can't get there, if you can't get home, get your hands up. Deflected balls can turn into turnovers.
10th play of the drive. Jennings, here's Hudson in a sprint. Oh no, Keyshawn Smith, and he fumbled the ball, but I think fell back on it at the 24. Tom, I will say tonight, 3-4 times in the ball game here in the first half.
It's the sloppiest SMU's look.
Mustang's been a little loose with the change.
Yeah, no question about it. And it's already cost them a potential touchdown on their opening drive as they fumbled in the red area, but that ball's out. Very fortunate to secure that football. But you're right, Wes. SMU's got to start doing the little details that turn into big things.
Roderick Daniels now checks out. 4 to the field here for Jennings. Blue Devils look like they might bring 4. Jennings going to keep it, create the run path to the near side, and Kevin Jennings knocked out at the 15, and that's a first down. Terry Moore shoved him out of bounds. Tom, one more than you can block, right?
One more than you can block, and then what they did is they motioned one of those 4 receivers to the top. It was Stone Eby, 44, and he ends up leading through the B gap, the gap between the guard and the tackle, as the lead blocker for the quarterback. Well-designed play by Rhett Lashley.
So now at the 16, third red zone possession of the night for SMU. They turned it over in their first one, got the Smith touchdown run on the second try, and in a tie game with 6:20 to go. Rashard Smith picks up a couple to the 14. B.J. Anthony the stop for the Blue Devils. And two teams that can get a little wide open east-west offensively.
Yeah.
The red zone kind of constricts what they want to do on the perimeter.
Well, that's the thing, is you start running out of real estate, right? And there's less carpet to defend for Duke defensively here. And that's why the little details when you get inside the red zone are so critical, because the margin of error really thins out.
L.J. Johnson with Jennings. Duke bringing pressure. Jennings crossing route and batted up in the air off the pads of Moochie Dixon. Dixon, who had the 87-yard slant for a touchdown to start the ball game at Stanford last Saturday night, had this one bang off the shoulder pads.
Well, and this is just a late look by Kevin Jennings, who is not able to take anything off of the football and throws it to the back shoulder of Dixon. If he made that an accurate throw, that's a touchdown.
3rd and 8. And now a Rhett Lashley timeout.
SMU takes its second timeout of the half. It'll be 30-second timeout.
You're valuing the possessions a little bit more tonight if you're one of these coaches, aren't you?
Well, you're maintaining possession of the ball, right? And now it puts so much pressure on you to get points of some kind, because you got to make sure every single drive ends in some form of a kick, right?
Tom, the next snap is going to be the 14th play of the drive. Yeah. SMU tonight has had a 10-play drive with a fumble, a 3-and-out, a 12-play drive and a touchdown, and now a 14-play drive, and we don't know how many, if any, points.
Right, and offensively, SMU has a rule that they live by. A successful drive has to be 7 points or 7 plays, minimum. All right, so they've hit that on every series except for one, as you just referenced. So maintaining possession of the ball, even if you're not getting 7 points, you're able to flip field position. Good things happen.
They've run 38 plays to Duke's 24. Manny Diaz is going to get the ball to start the second half. He'd like one more crack of it in this half. Here's 3rd and 8. Out of the timeout, Duke brings 4. Jennings, a little sidearm shot. Bailey the catch. 1st and goal, SMU.
Well, there's your guy, Wes. You mentioned when it gets to be 3rd down, 2nd down and long, you start to find number 12, because 12 finds a way to get open.
Timeout on the field for an injured player.
Chandler Rivers, who was shaken up earlier in the drive, makes the stop here.
It just basically you're running 3 slant routes to the trip side, to the wide side of the field, and you're picking the open window if you're Kevin Jennings. What a tough as nails go up and get it catch on a critical down, and a fresh set of downs now for SMU. as the second quarter unwinds.
Bailey's 18th catch of the year. He trailed R.J. Maryland in receptions coming into the ball game tonight, and now without Maryland the rest of the year, Bailey comes into the game as the leading receiver. Sub 20 catches. Here is Smith now in the backfield. It's 1st and goal for SMU. And Brashard Smith for a yard. And the Blue Devils stop that pretty promptly. And you see 99 is
Aaron Hall,
who's a Southern Durham product.
99 and 91, Kendi Charles. They're the handful on the inside.
44 yards, 14 carries tonight for Brashard Smith and a touchdown. L.J. Johnson now in the backfield. Pitch it to him on the boundary side. Johnson gets thrown to the turf at the 2. Ozzie Nicholas the tackle. And here we are back to 3rd and goal again.
That's a lot of blue jerseys in the box. And I don't think Duke right now, SMU's got enough to block them. They're banging their head against the wall. I'd be surprised if they don't maybe spread out here a little bit and lighten up that box.
We got a Blue Devil shaking up on the play. And
it's like Jalen Stinson.
Yeah. So Jalen Stinson, terrific player. Tell you, one of the nice things we've seen in this first half tonight as Manny Diaz is out to check on the young man from Opelika, Alabama. And being from Alabama, it reminded me that Duke is honoring 3 separate teams here tonight. The 1989 ACC championship team of Steve Spurrier, and it's good to see Coach Spurrier knows he was with the Huddle folks earlier. Yesterday afternoon, you and I and Mark Packer and others, we had a chance to spend some time with David Cutcliffe, of course, who took him to the title game in 13. And then just a moment ago here, the 30th anniversary of the 1994 team and the National Coach of the Year. Winner of the Dodd Trophy that year was Fred Goldsmith. And just a hat tip to everybody with Duke Athletics. Tom, I told you during the break, I think it's a marvelous idea to bring 3 decorated coaches back, especially at a time when you got so much energy with Manny Diaz's first season here too.
No doubt about it. See, they spread them out here a little bit more. I like this move.
Johnson in the backfield. You got Hudson to the boundary, 3 receivers to the top, and it's going to be Jennings. And the ball popped loose. Is there a ruling? I haven't seen a touchdown signal yet. It is now a touchdown for Kevin Jennings. Ozzie Nicholas and Kevin Jennings, it looked like, met right at the goal line.
Once again, getting loose with the football is SMU, and this ball pops out right there. In fact, he's not even in the end zone yet. Ooh.
Wow.
Wow.
Deshaun Stone knocked it out. Nicholas was right there too. You see him 45. And then Jennings corrals it.
Well, and look at Kevin Jennings lift his hip up and grab the ball.
It's on the white, Tom, right?
It's on the white there, but is he down? So he recovers it and lifts his lower body off the ground to leap into the end zone.
Previous plays under further review. The ruling on the field is the runner recovered the ball in the end zone.
So Mike Roach will hop on the headset. Take a look-see.
The question's not whether the ball's out. The ball is out, and the ball is recovered by Kevin Jennings. It does look like the ball is on the white. Let's see. Bring it back. Possession.
Now remember, they can cut these angles up in Charlotte and in the booth here in Durham and look at all the angles and show those to Mike Roach.
So the ball right there on that white line. Frame by frame here, Tom. I'm very intrigued to see what they're going to say, and if we can maybe go slow here, because I want to see what they say about this part of his body right there. Just watch when he grabs the ball, what he does with his body to get the foot, secure the ball, and then get in the end zone.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands as called. It's a touchdown.
Longest drive of the season for SMU is 17 plays. And with 3:56 to go now, the Mustangs have put 2 second-quarter touchdowns on the board.
Well, they've done it the hard way.
Tell the truth.
Matriculating down the field.
85 yards in 7:02, and the point is good from Colin Rogers to give the Mustangs a touchdown lead. We're truly playing the game of inches tonight, aren't we?
You know, normally, this is what you want to say. Okay, well, let's make them earn it. Let's make them go down the length of the field, because the more plays they got to run, the more opportunity there is to make a mistake. You're eventually going to screw something up. And that hasn't been the case, aside from SMU's inability to secure the football consistently, regardless of who the ball carrier has been. From an execution standpoint, it's been just about flawless for SMU here in the second quarter.
Yeah, Mustangs have put back-to-back touchdown drives together. Brashard Smith, the first score. Kevin Jennings, the rushing score there. His third of the year. You see him talking to De'Aaron King, the quarterback coach for Rhett Lashley, who not that long ago was a terrific playmaker in his own right.
Talked to him in pregame warm-up. I remember broadcasting his very first game at Houston. He was playing wide receiver as a true freshman.
How about that?
Yeah.
And out of the end zone, here comes Peyton Jones. And Jones is taken down just shy of the 20-yard line, so that's where the Blue Devils are going to start. Well, and now a flag thrown in late here. Quick reminder to you, the fall championships start next week. Actually, later this week, cross-country championship November 1st. Next Saturday, the Ally Women's Soccer Championship, Field Hockey Championships, presented by Geico, and the men's soccer. All coming up for you in early November right here on ACC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. We had a personal foul penalty called against the Mustangs, so Duke's possession will start near its 33-yard line with under 4 to go. Manny Diaz has got all 3 timeouts. And Malik Murphy ready to go to work for the first-year Blue Devil head coach.
Well, you got plenty of time. You get the ball coming out of the locker room to start the third quarter. 3 timeouts. You're moving the ball. Haven't run it particularly well just yet.
Jordan Moore goes wide to the right here. They're going to run the ball to Star Thomas into the center of the Mustang 7. Ahmad Walker the stop. First guy there for Rhett Lashley. Transfer from Liberty. Not called Kobe Wilson's name much tonight, Tom, the linebacker from outside of Atlanta, who's their leading tackler coming in.
A couple of times early in the first quarter, but you're right, it's been relatively quiet. It's really been Ahmad Moses, number 3, Brandon Crossley.
Yep.
2 have played really, really well in the defensive secondary for SMU.
Duke's got just 15 yards of rushing here in this first half. 2nd down 8 for the Blue Devils. Murphy back across the middle, and Brown the catch. He'll be short of the first down at the 41. Tripped up by Wacobia.
Again, another example there of Wacobia going low and tripping up Quayshawn Brown of SMU's ability to not allow 3, 4, 6-yard routes to turn into 80-yard runs.
Yep. Boggs checks into the ball game for 3rd and 2.
Big Anthony Booker comes in at defensive tackle at 348 pounds on 3rd and 2. I'd put him into.
And we got early movement. And you see number 10 in the white go firing through. And the flag from the Duke backfield. A little bit of discussion here with Mike Roach and his crew. Look at Booker.
False start on the offense, number 8. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Looks like a keg. He is a monster.
My buddy Dave Archer would say he's a solar system. He's got his own solar system.
Yeah, that's right.
There's Tank Booker from Cincinnati, Ohio, Arkansas, Maryland, and now SMU in his college career.
3rd and 2 and 3rd and 7 are two in completely different worlds.
Yeah. In a world that Booker doesn't play in.
No.
Thomas is in the backfield.
Get careful here. You're running out of time.
And is Manny Diaz going to call a timeout?
That's a 2-minute timeout.
The 2-minute timeout. That's what it did. Just under the tape, Tom, for the Blue Devils. Touchdown lead for the Mustangs when we come back.
Tough news for SMU fans as number 12, the wideout Jake Bailey, in an excruciating amount of pain trying to get his jersey off, being further evaluated. His status is unknown for the rest of the game, but he was carted off in the golf cart to seek further evaluation. That's a big loss for SMU.
Oh, tell me, the number 1 receiver was already out, R.J. Maryland. That's the number 2 receiver, and you see Brandon Maizano is also in that cart, Tom, with his left arm in a sling rather. So Rhett Lashley, we're getting ready to see a little bit of the depth chart, I think, at the receiver spot. Here's Murphy out of the 2-minute timeout to his right and incomplete. Quayshawn Brown was the intended target. It'll be 3rd down on a miss there. It's now 4th down for Duke. And 7 now with 1:56 to play.
You go from 3rd and 2, you get the penalty, 3rd and 7. SMU decides to dial up some heat. I like the call there from SMU. They've got to start doing that a little bit more and getting Malik Murphy off platform because he's not a runner.
First 3 and out of the night for the Blue Devils. Their 30th of the campaign. Under 2 minutes and 1 timeout for Lashley's Mustangs. Reynoldson to punt it to Daniels here. Within a whisker of a block, here's Daniels inside the 20. And Roderick pushed out at the 24, I think, and that's where things will begin. There is a flag across the way in front of the Mustang bench at the right side of the field at the 42. So we'll see what Mike Roach has here. 46-yard punt by Cade Reynoldson.
During the kick, holding receiving team number 28. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. The SMU's football, 1st down.
Quick reminder to you. Weekdays at 4 Eastern right here on ACC Network, ACC PM. Our man Mark Packer will have Luganville in the studio on Monday, right?
All day Monday and then first half hour on Wednesdays.
Then Taylor's on Tuesday usually, is that right?
I believe so.
Tannenbaum's on Tuesday.
Our own Dana Boyle was on Wednesday.
There. Yeah. Dana showed up Wednesday for Boiling Points. I've heard that's an outstanding segment.
Yeah, no, you should get glued into it.
Yeah. Got to get right back up to date with what's happening, apparently. Inside the 10 at the 9 here for Jennings. Now, remember, SMU's been a little loose with the rock here tonight in the first half. Brashard Smith, the running back, and he gets the carry. Smith will weave for a 1st down to the 20 with 100 seconds to go. And the Mustangs leading 14-7 on the Pickett tackle. Clark starts again here for Jennings. Play fake. No, he did give it to Smith. Did a heck of a job hiding it. Aaron Hall makes the tackle. No gain on the play. And are we going to get another timeout? This would be Duke, I think. Or no, SMU going to call theirs? No, we got a Duke player down. Alex Howard is shaken up and face down across the way. So they will stop for the injury here. And they tend here to Alex Howard. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And we get a look at this play. Tom, what do you see here?
Let's see.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, he just gets some friendly fire into his right knee there from Kendi Charles, a big defensive tackle. You'll see right there on the right of your screen, you're going to see his knee. Oh, what a shame.
So Howard being looked at. You see that was
He gets blocked into him by 75.
yeah, Ben Sparks.
Yep.
So Howard's good to see him walk off. Transfer from Youngstown State, who has been outstanding. 48th career game tonight, headed toward 200 career tackles. He had 14 in the overtime win at Northwestern up on the lake early in the year. He leads them in tackles for loss and sacks in addition to total tackles.
Because the game clock was running, was stopped for an injured player to the defense. The play is subject to a 10-second runoff. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute 15 seconds, and it'll start on my signal.
Brett Lashley was talking to the crew. I think, did it have to do with the, I don't know that it did or didn't have to do with the 10-second runoff, but I would suspect with one timeout, now the clock running, and the Mustangs huddling here for 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they're taking their own sweet time, and clearly Duke has no intention of trying to get this ball back. They just want the ball coming out of the locker room.
Right.
Get out of the half.
Yep. L.J. Johnson in the backfield with Jennings, and Johnson gets the carry. First down and more out beyond the 35 to the 36. Clock stops with 45 seconds left on the Bergeron tackle, and Mustangs are on the hop here after that play.
Yeah, that might change things a little bit.
Here's the snap. Duke bringing 4. Jennings going to spin it down the field. Intercepted. Bergeron. Cameron Bergeron picks it in Duke territory at the 44 with 36 seconds left on a ball intended for Daniels. Second turnover of the half on SMU.
Yeah, and this time Cam Bergeron just runs the route for Daniels. Turns and runs, sees it the seam route. He quickly flips his hips back around, gets his eyes on the quarterback, and Kevin Jennings throws the ball right to him.
So SMU ran 4 plays. Jennings throws the interception, and now here's Duke from its 44. And all 3 timeouts and 36 seconds left.
And that's where Ed Lashley was talking to Kevin Jennings about. He put his arm around him on the sideline about, understanding the value of the football in that moment.
Let's see what Malik Murphy has. Only the 4th interception of the year by the Mustangs. Murphy, long throw, batted in the air. Incomplete.
Pass intended for number 8, Jordan Moore.
Intended for Jordan Moore.
Isaiah Wachovia.
Right there to contest it and force the breakup. And that'll stop the clock with 31 seconds left. Don't forget ACC huddle at the break. Taylor and the crew will get you caught up on all the finals today. Cal a winner. Wake a winner late at Stanford. Carolina a winner at Virginia. The Hokies beat the Yellow Jackets today in Blacksburg to start our afternoon on ACC Network. Here's Murphy now scrambling from the pocket, and he will slide down before the first down with 25 seconds left and a Manny Diaz timeout.
That's one of those moments where if you're Malik Murphy, you've got to slide forward.
Going on the field, runner was stopped short of the line to gain. Duke takes its first time out of the half. It'll be 30-second timeout.
There are going to be those moments where you're either going to have to initiate contact, you're going to have to lower your shoulder, or you're going to have to dive forward as opposed to sliding.
You see Manny Diaz calling the timeout. And he is talking to his senior analyst on the headset there. That is Rich Skrosky, who, Tom, came here and is a former head coach at the FCS level at Elon. Later worked at Florida International and some other spots. Most guys now have that guy with them, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yep. There's a look at Skrosky wearing the glasses. What a good football man he is, by the way.
He's got his book. He's got all his analytics.
They all got the book, man. We're going to get you a book from up here. Here's 3rd and short now after the Murphy slide. Duke's still playing with 2 timeouts. There's a quick throw just beyond the reach of Taylor, the tight end.
The pass was intended for number 15, Jake Taylor. It is incomplete.
4th down and 2 with 21 seconds left. And I think the first-year coach knows they may have missed one there.
Yeah, this is a layup here. You got to make this throw. Even if you just drop it in. I mean, throw some air under it. You got no flat defender getting in the way. And again, going back to that slide on 2nd down. Put him in this position now. They'd be 4th and 2.
The 4th and 2 it'll be. Murphy to throw. And that ball's caught and dropped. Oh, my goodness. Harvey, I thought, had it. And then I thought he had recollected Tom at the 40 of SMU, but couldn't hang on.
Well, Harvey thought he had a touchdown, and that's why he didn't secure the football first and foremost. Look at his head turn right upfield. He thinks he's off to the races. You got to secure the football. Well thrown ball, right on the numbers. That one's not on Malik Murphy.
Well, we're struggling to get to the half here, aren't we, Coach?
Are we ever?
L.J. Johnson back in the ball game with Jennings. There's 17 seconds, and SMU's got a timeout. Colin Rogers' longest field goal was last week, 51 at Stanford. He's had a 55-yarder at Louisville. Jennings, this is Hibner the catch. And ball popped out again at the 41-yard line, and Duke's got it with 10 seconds left. Trey Freeman, I think, knocked it out and recovered it. My goodness.
See Hibner trying to keep his feet. And that's just a flat-out takeaway from Trey Freeman.
Yep.
Number 12. One of the key cogs in this Duke defense. The linebacking core has been one of the best in this conference. And that's just a pure takeaway.
And now Duke with the ball at the 41. 3rd turnover of the half for SMU.
Rhett Lashley not happy on that SMU sideline. And
nope.
I can see why.
So here is Murphy now. 2 timeouts in 10 seconds, and stranger things have happened.
Have they ever?
The snap to Murphy. SMU brings 4. To his left. Now back into the middle of the field, and Pancol the catch. He's tackled. They're going to spot it to the 48. That's a 1st down with 2 seconds left. Wacobia the tackle, and Duke's going to burn a timeout here and throw one in the end zone, I suspect.
Timeout Duke, their 2nd timeout of the half. Be a full timeout.
Well, Malik Murphy's got plenty of arm to make this throw. He's got to keep it in bounds, keep it high. See what Duke dials up here.
So while the band waits, we were at a place last week where that was a problem one time.
Well, that band's only been standing there for 15 minutes.
They've been there longer than that, Coach.
I know.
I'll tell you something. So SMU wants to knock it down. Duke wants to find a way to make a play in the end zone here. You would think a team -3 takeaway giveaway, Tom, there'd be no chance they'd have a lead. And SMU's got a touchdown advantage on this thing.
They've actually been very fortunate that they haven't had 2 others, because they've recovered 2 of their own fumbles.
That's big Justin Osborne, who's got 50 career starts in college. going to the locker room a step early. 3 guys inside the 10 defensively, and now Rhett Lashley's going to use his last one.
SMU takes its final timeout of the half.
There's Scott Simons. He's got the hoodie on with the black hat. He's the defensive coordinator for the Mustangs. These are 2 really, really good staffs, Tom, that the more success they have, people are going to find out how good they are collaboratively. I mean, second chance, we've been around Duke staff, Jonathan Patke, Jonathan Brewer, terrific young coaches for Manny Diaz. He's got a rock-solid staff going here at Durham. And Rhett Lashley, a lot of people knew and suspected SMU might be good. What they've done through the first half of the conference season, trying to get their 4th ACC win tonight, has been really impressive.
You know, and you got to go back to when Rhett Lashley first got hired at SMU. SMU wasn't playing any defense. That was the #1 priority. Is they knew they could play offense, but they had got to get better on defense if they were going to have a shot to be a competitive ball club. That happened. You win the conference a year ago. You move up into the Power 4 ranks, and now you're so much more well-equipped for the transition.
So now, off the SMU 48-yard line, this will be the final swing of the first half, one way or the other. Mustangs on the pressure. Murphy to his right, unloads for the end zone. Has it got enough? It's batted down. Wacobia, and that will end the half. We got there eventually. SMU gets back-to-back touchdown drives to finish the first half. Rashard Smith early in the quarter from 1 yard, then Kevin Jennings in the final 4 minutes from 3 yards out. The Mustangs are going to take a 14-7 lead to the locker room, but Duke and Manny Diaz get the ball to start the second half. Let's go downstairs. Dana's with Manny Diaz.
Coach Diaz, 3 forced turnovers in that first half. How did your defense keep the SMU offense guessing?
The problem is the 2 touchdowns they have, we forced turnovers on those drives as well. The ball was on the ground twice on the touchdown drive. We had an interception nullified by a penalty. It's all about the ball. So we got to keep hunting the football. We had a feeling that would be important coming in. We have to run the ball better. We have to stop the run. That's what's giving them control of the game.
On the offensive side, Malik Murphy playing within the system, taking calculated risks. How do you establish the ground game in the second half?
Yeah, he's been better. We have to hand the ball off more than what we've done. We're in the game. It's a 1-score game. We get the ball.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Dana, thanks very much. 14-7 SMU at the break. Taylor Tannenbaum standing by. A lot to go in this first 30 minutes, as well as the day in the ACC, and that's coming up right now.
Welcome into your ACC Network halftime report. Just across the field from where Wes and Tom are, up in the booth, a couple of fans horsing around on the SMU.
What a banger!
I would say it was a pretty good first half, a low-scoring affair, maybe ended a little clunky, if you will. 14-7, SMU up at the break. There's some jarring back and forth between these 2 teams. I'm sure they're just saying hello. How are you doing?
A couple of private schools getting in fights.
No big deal. We love a little fire. That's what football is all about. EJ Manuel, Eric McLean, Eddie Royal. I am Taylor Tannenbaum. Like I said, SMU up 14-7 at halftime, despite losing the turnover battle 3-0 in that first half. First time they've had 3 turnovers in a half since the AAC title game last year. But the Mustangs are still up. Yeah. How are they still up right now?
Well, they really shouldn't be, because the ball was on the ground 5 times. And that's really unheard of. It started in warm-ups. It was a weird vibe, a weird energy in the stadium. It didn't seem like SMU had that bounce in their step. This is the second week in a row that they've been in not a sleepy environment, but you got to bring your own energy type place. So they really got to get going in the second half.
I don't think there's any question. And we were, right before we kicked it to the game, you kind of asked us, what's the difference? What's going to be a big game changer? We said turnovers. If Duke can get the football out, they can stay in any game, nonetheless here on their own field. So that's been a massive thing to me, and a little uncharacteristic for the Mustangs.
Yeah, they got to cut out the turnovers. That's a big thing. And, Duke right now has not really ran the ball well. So you can imagine if the second half, if they start running that ball well a little bit more, they're going to add more pressure. All they got to do is score. That's why, the young man that was talking trash and stuff at halftime, hey, man, get to the locker room.
Right.
Move forward. You guys aren't safe right now. You're only up one score. That thing could change quickly.
Credit to Duke, though. That defense that we talked about coming in today, always hungry and very, very hungry eating tonight so far through the first half. All right, let's go to Coral Gables because we had a big showdown, a big rivalry game down there between Florida State and 6th-ranked Miami. You know the vibes were high down there in South Florida. Opening drive of the game for the Canes. First and goal, Mark Fletcher Jr. finds his way in for the touchdown. He lost his dad actually earlier this week, so points up to the sky. 7-0 Canes. Early second quarter, they're within striking distance again. Damian Martinez breaks a couple tackles, and he's in 18 yards for the touchdown run. Miami up 14-0. Later in the second, Florida State going for it on 4th and 1. Luke Kromenhoff in at quarterback after Brock Glenn did get the start. He breaks free.
Bobarooski.
Whatever works, right?
True freshman, 42-yard gain. Knowles would go on to score to get on the board. Right now, in the fourth quarter, still early in that fourth quarter, Miami just up 23-7. FSU's defense had 3 sacks in the first half, more than Miami's allowed in an entire game this season. So what are you seeing down there in South Florida?
Well, I think Miami still has a commanding lead. And if I'm them, I'm not really worried at this point because FSU's offense has not really got turned over. I mean, obviously, the tush push turned into a long run was somewhat lucky. But ultimately, if Miami just does not turn it over here, give FSU more confidence and more extra possessions, they'll be all right.
Yeah, and they're running the ball extremely well. Miami's doing a great job. Again, a couple of little things. Cam Ward was really frustrated that last drive, not scoring a touchdown. Looked like he had something that he liked, just couldn't get to it in time. So it's been a weird thing. Clemson couldn't get the ball in the end zone. Miami a little bit better than Clemson did, but still able to move the ball. Be interesting to see how they finish the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a sexy game for Miami at all, but you want to get out of it and win. Running the ball well. Cam Ward, don't force anything. We all know the Heisman hype, but don't force it. No turnovers, and they should get out of it clean.
But you would expect in a rivalry game. We always say going in, throw the record books out, throw the records out. They were going to play a close game, Florida State, and you're seeing that down in South Florida. But like EJ said, Miami in command right now. All right, we got more football to talk about after the break. This guy's spooky.
Jason.
We're getting ready for Halloween. North Carolina, Virginia squaring off today. Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech. We'll show you the highlights on the other side of your ACC Network halftime report live from Durham. Welcome back to your ACC Network halftime report. Band taking the field right now as both teams get a break. SMU up over Duke 14-7 at the halftime break. To Charlottesville we go because we got to show you what happened in the South's oldest rivalry, 129 meeting between Carolina and Virginia. And remember last year, who's upset the Heels, who were ranked 10th at the time? First quarter, Tar Heels down 3-0. Jacoby Criswell to J.J. Jones. And he makes 2 guys miss on his way to the end zone.
He made a lot of big plays this game, showed up big.
7-0. UNC takes the lead. Late in the second quarter, Virginia trying to get something going offensively. Anthony Calandria, though, is sacked by Desmond Evans. This was a routine tonight for the Heels defense. With seconds to go until halftime, Criswell again to J.J. Jones. Ridiculous catch. Check it out again. This is nice.
It's a great catch, great throw. Might have got 2 in. That might be good on Sunday.
All right, UNC with a 24-6 lead at the break. Third quarter, I mentioned this was happening all day. It doesn't get much better for Virginia offensively because the defense was hungry. Javari Ritzy, can he go all the way? What do you guys think?
Absolutely. Great lead block right there, too.
84-yard touchdown for the big man. Carolina beats Virginia big time, 41-14. The defense was getting after it for the Heels. 10 sacks on the day, most in the game in the last 20 seasons. Kamen Rucker, who finally is coming back healthy. Last 2 games, 3 sacks against the Hoos today. All right, how about a little Tecmo Bowl in Blacksburg? Also a battle of the Brents, Key and Fry. Georgia Tech visiting Virginia Tech. Second quarter, Hokies down 3-0 until Kyron Drones finds a wide open Benji Gosnell. 20-yard score, Hokies up 7-3. Later in the second, Tyler Bowen in his bag. Check this. Jalen Lane to Kyron Drones in the end zone.
Get out there having fun.
Hokie special.
Not too shabby. So keep count. That's a passing touchdown for Drones receiving. And then here, third quarter, same score. Hokies on the doorstep. Drones calls his own number, adds a rushing touchdown to his repertoire today. Home team up 21-6. Fourth quarter, 4th and 1 for the Jackets. They can't do anything turnover on downs. Virginia Tech wins 21-6. That is now 3 straight conference wins for the Hokies for the first time since 2019. And I told you to keep count. Passing touchdown, rushing touchdown, receiving touchdown for Kyron Drones. First time that's happened in a game at Virginia Tech since at the very least, 1956. Pretty good for the greats who've come through there at quarterback. All right, around the league, it's been a fun day of football. We showed you those. Wake Forest with a thrilling win over Stanford out in the Bay, 27-24. 4th win of the season for the Deacs. Right now, Miami's still up on Florida State there in the 4th quarter. Cal, dominant win in a non-con game against Oregon State. And right here, SMU up 14-7 at halftime over Duke. Rashard Smith finding the end zone, working his way into the end zone in that second quarter to put the Mustangs on the board. How about that power? They're looking for more of that in the second half. We'll be back with more on the other side of the ACC Network halftime report. See you after the break. Welcome back to your ACC Network halftime report. Don't forget ACC PM Monday, 4 o'clock, and the rest of the week. Mark Packer will have you covered all things ACC football and beyond. But back here in Durham, a great game. SMU up 14-7 over Duke at half. This was nice. Malik Murphy, 43-yard touchdown to Quayshawn Brown in that first quarter. Duke gets the ball coming out of the break. Wes, Lugs, and Dana have you covered. We'll see you on the huddle after the game.
Is your
Saturday night ACC Network prime time. We're in the Bull City. Number 22 SMU, 14 Duke, 7 as we get ready to start the third quarter here tonight at Wallace Wade Stadium. Great to be with Tom Luganville, West Durham, Dana Boyle in just a moment. It's a weird first half. Took a while to finish it, but Tom, SMU's got a 14-7 lead. Details on that, but how about our food for thought tonight? And, of course, it's brought to you by Food Lion.
Well, we've seen a little bit of everything, haven't we?
Yeah.
Got the game kicked off with a nice touchdown throw from Malik Murphy to Quayshawn Brown, dropping it right in the bucket. And then this is where the turnovers, or maybe one that should have been one but was not, turned into a touchdown for SMU, but it lit this fuse. Turnover to Cam Bergeron down the seam, and then this throw to Hibner, the tight end, it gets knocked out. SMU turns the ball over, and to your point, somehow, some way, SMU's leading this football game.
Yeah, interesting because Duke has not found any kind of footing in the run game at all.
Right.
You see the third down numbers, the yards per pass attempt, the rush attempts, and those 3 turnovers just pop off the page for a team that has the lead. And there's a kick over the head of the Blue Devils, so Duke will start from its 25, Dana.
Speaking with Brett Lashley coming out of the huddle, he's a little frustrated with the offense's ability to value the ball and protect the football. They're making some mistakes on the offensive end that are really hurting them. And then 2 key injuries we will not see in this game. Jake Bailey is out for the game, and Brandon Maiazono.
All right, thank you very much. The receiving injury to their number 2 leading receiver in terms of catches, Bailey. Maiazono is a guy who makes plays, but he is a backup behind Kobe Wilson at linebacker. We'll keep an eye on the receiving depth for SMU. That's where I'm most intrigued, Tom, about this second half. Moochie Dixon's a guy that had a big play to start last week.
Yep.
We haven't heard much from him tonight. Here is a little sweep, and this is Quayshawn Brown. He'll get 5 to the 30. He is escorted out of bounds by Jonathan McGill, who's from Capel and transferred from Stanford. He plays in his 54th collegiate game tonight, makes his 40th start for the Mustangs.
Well, and we heard Manny Diaz tell Dana going into the locker room, hey, we've got to somehow keep handing the football off. We've got to get the run game going.
Yeah.
And right there with Quayshawn Brown, that's just an extension of the run game. But they got to do something on the ground to start sustaining some drives here.
Tight end, 3 receivers. They're going to hand the ball to Thomas, and he will make it 3rd and 1 as he gets 4 on the play. Sanders and Wilson the stop. Now remember, the Bailey injury is compounded because R.J. Maryland was lost for the year last Saturday at Stanford. So their top 2 receivers are not available for the second half, and Maryland not for the remainder of the year. Here's the Murphy throw, and trying to go to Moore, and incompletion is forced by Crossley. Brandon Crossley, they don't try number 1 much in the games, Tom, we've looked at on tape. He's pretty good. That's his 4th breakup of the year.
He's really good, and they keep targeting him, and he keeps answering the toll. And I was really surprised Duke didn't attempt to run the football right there.
Yeah.
3rd and 1, they hurried up to the line of scrimmage, forced SMU to get a line, and then you throw what is generally not an overly high percentage throw, and you're backed up on your own 34-yard line.
2nd 3 and out of the night for the Blue Devils. They're 2nd in their last 4 possessions. And here's Cade Reynolds to punt it away to Roderick Daniels. And oh boy, early start by Star Thomas, the gunner. I don't think that's Star Thomas. I think that's the other number 17. That's Vontae Floyd.
Number 17, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Yeah, that's Vontae Floyd, who is a freshman from Norfolk.
You're the furthest person away from the football. You're the last person that should be jumping in a situation like that.
So we'll re-rack the punt for Reynolds. Curtis Cooper, the long snapper, finally delivers it. And the punt is going to take a big Duke bounce here. Inside the 20. Daniels smartly got away from that, Tom. And the Mustangs going to start around the 16. 55-yard punt from Cade Reynolds. His longest of the year, 60 in Evanston against the Wildcats early in the campaign. So here comes Jennings, who kind of had a topsy-turvy first half, in all honesty.
No, he really did. The entire SMU offense was just out of sync to some degree, and they're not protecting the football well and being way too sloppy with it. They've been very fortunate because they've recovered 2 of their own fumbles.
Brashard Smith will start as the running back. That's Hibner, the tight end, in motion. Jennings to Hibner on the perimeter, and he will run through the Alex Howard tackle. Good to see Howard back in the game, by the way.
Yeah.
Shaken up late in the first half. That's a throw of 4 on first down. Jennings and the Mustangs ready to go again. And here's Brashard Smith. He'll have a first down, stretching to the 27-yard line. Tackle made by Terry Moore of the Blue Devils. Another quick snap for Jennings. Going to take the long shot. This is Keyshawn Smith coming back for it and hauls it in. And it's called incomplete. Ruled incomplete, hitting the turf with Joshua Pickett there. Smith thought he caught it.
Well, it wasn't for a lack of effort, Wes. I mean, it was a tremendous job of finding the football, locating it in the air. He had to turn around and find that football.
Great camera work by director Bob Frateroli and his guys tonight. You saw the ball bounce to Keyshawn Smith. So 2nd and 10. Jennings pulls and shoots it in the middle of the field, and breaking away, this is Roderick Daniels. Got 2 Blue Devils to beat inside the 10 and pulled down shy of the goal line. No, he hit the pylon, touchdown. Roderick Daniels. And Tom, another slant.
Again, the RPO with the token fake in the background, and at first Kevin Jennings double clutched on this throw. Didn't like what he saw initially, ends up delivering it late, but Roderick Daniels, let's see where he goes. Well, he doesn't actually hit the
Rivers
pylon.
does. Rivers
does.
Yep.
Yeah, this will be looked at here.
73 yards if it stands. And Mike Roach.
Right on the field's a touchdown. That plays under further review.
And you've seen a couple of angles already. We'll show you this one. He clearly does not hit the pylon.
No, he doesn't hit the pylon. He goes out around the 1-yard line, and Chandler Rivers to the inside rolls right over the pylon. The field judge is on the sideline. You're going to see him off to the left of your screen. I just think it's tough for him to see through that to realize it wasn't Roderick Daniels who actually hit the pylon.
Yep. So they'll have a look here, and I think it's going to be 1st and goal at the 1.
I do too, absolutely.
Yep. Which has not been a given tonight. So you see Daniels out of bounds at the 1. Rivers does hit the pylon.
After further review, the offensive player has possession of the football at the 1-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for SMU.
All right, Tom, let's go back to the top here.
You see Roderick Daniels, he's going to come on the inside. He's ready to go, but he doesn't get the ball as early as he's supposed to because Kevin Jennings couldn't navigate, I think, the open window, so he cocks the ball back, then gets it off to Daniels, and now it's off to the races. Daniels just running out of gas. Again, another one of those guys that lines up at tailback, returns punts and kicks, has been a really good player at the receiver position for the last few weeks.
EB and LJ Johnson behind Jennings, and the pony push play is short. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Whoa, Kendi Charles, number 91, just took Ja'Kai Clark and put him on skates. The centers matched up against 91. Whoa.
Wow.
Very fortunate to not cause a turnover on a botched snap exchange.
Little offset look here on 2nd down. And straight ahead they go, and tumbling in, but short is Johnson again. Kendi Charles having none of it out of the Duke front.
All 6 foot, 280 pounds of him. He is active and disruptive. Had his best game for Duke a week ago in their win versus Florida State. Really dominated the football game up front.
LJ Johnson, the deep back. There goes Jennings, and they're trying for the shove here. Now the officials will scurry in from either side, and now it's called a touchdown. Much to the dismay of the Blue Devils, Jennings in the end zone. 2nd rushing score of the night for the Mustang quarterback.
SMU downright stubborn about running the football. That's what they were going to do as we take a look at Kevin Jennings. See if he crosses that line. That's definitely a touchdown. That's a good call. Hard fought goal line stand from both teams.
Oh, wow, we get up close here. So Mike Roach.
Ruling on the field of a touchdown is under further review.
So we're going to go back to look at this. Now the ruling on the field is the score. So is the elbow down before the ball crosses? It's the left elbow, the ball's in the right arm. We got a couple of looks here for you.
Yep.
There's the left elbow. That's down.
Yeah, the elbow's down. The ball has not crossed the line yet.
Right. And we showed you another angle with the...
He does a nice job of keeping his knees off the ground.
Yeah.
But that left elbow he has to use to break his fall. This ball looks like it's going to be probably placed about the 6-inch yard line.
At 4th and goal.
Yep.
Manny Diaz. There you go. Elbows down. Yeah. Used to work in television. He knows.
He was watching it. Well, I was watching him down the sideline. He's watching the Jumbotron.
Yeah. So really the question here, Tom, The door's been shut 3 times. There's referee Roach to go.
After further review, the quarterback's left elbow is on the ground with the ball in his possession at the half-yard line. It'll be 4th down and goal from that spot.
So, my question to you is, what do you run here? Because you've gone 3 straight dives, pushes, whatever. Straight ahead again?
Well, maybe straight ahead again, or you spread them out a little bit. Not get as many blue jerseys there in the box. See, this is where you'd love to have R.J. Maryland.
Hudson at the top of the screen. Smith at the bottom of the screen. Here's Jennings. And now we got a timeout taken by Rhett Lashley. So.
Before the snap, SMU takes its first timeout of the half.
We'll keep it here at Wallace Wade Stadium.
That was a good timeout, too, because he didn't have it. It was going to be a 2-man route, and they were going to move Kevin Jennings, move the pocket, roll to the right. And I think Rhett Lashley realized with the defensive alignment they weren't going to have it.
We saw Jennings early in the ball game from the gun make a full pirouette.
Yeah.
You can't do that here, can you?
No, the further away you're getting from the goal line, the more problematic it's going to be. So listen. I think that you've got to have some form of the quarterback being the runner here, but not from maybe a goal, not necessarily from a quarterback sneak standpoint.
Spread it out.
Spread it out a little bit. Get some zone read action. Maybe you go quarterback power, quarterback counter. Get an extra hat in front of you. Use Hibner. Use Stone Eby.
Well, you brought Eby back into the fold.
Yep, there
you
he
have
is.
Hibner to the left.
Yep.
At least, and now they're going to huddle. And L.J. Johnson is the back, not Brashard Smith. And there goes Jennings trying to dig out for the end zone. Chandler Rivers comes sprinting from the far side to say no, and they did get the stop. And now a flag has been thrown. Post whistle here. So we get another look. Mike Roach and his crew visit.
Look at Ozzie Nicholas, 45, right over the center. He goes over the top, and it's the first one to fall on top of Kevin Jennings. Not allowed to get
on
in the end
field,
zone.
the runner was stopped short of the goal line. It'll be Duke's football. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 56, pulling the corner off the pile. 59 penalty, first down, timeout. That's number 56, first unsportsmanlike foul of the game.
So an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty will take it off the 1 and out to about the 16. The Blue Devil defense gets the hold at home back after this.
What?
4-4.
I know.
Well, Kevin Jennings and De'Aaron King may be looking at this one, this sequence of downs inside the 1, Tom. It may go all the way the flight home tonight. Boy, Kendi Charles, Aaron Hall, my goodness.
Oh,
you talked about the front tonight at the top of the show. Boy, did they deliver right there.
No question. And those 2 tackles, Charles and his neighbor Aaron Hall, 99 next to him, are a handful on the inside, and not a lot of creativity there on those 4 downs from SMU offensively. That'll be something that Rhett Lashley and the staff will be rethinking over and over and over again.
Murphy wants to throw it on first down off the Duke 16 following the penalty. Long throw, Pancol taken out of bounds right around the 22. Let's get to Dana.
Lugs, you mentioned it, but Kendi Charles playing out of his mind tonight on the defensive end. He didn't start playing football to the 8th grade. He came to the United States in 2011 from Haiti, but I loved what Manny Diaz said about him. Systematically and athletically, yes, he fits the Duke program in the mold, but it's how he works and the type of person that he is that's really allowed him to excel.
Yeah, he's been everything you want, Tom. How many times have we said this already this year? Everything you want in grad transfers.
No
right?
question. No question.
He's been terrific in Manny Diaz's first year. Here's Peyton Jones now trying to give Duke a lift in the run game. And that's going to be measured a first down to the 26. Corey Roberson makes the stop. Grad transfer from Oklahoma out of Houston. And this game of two teams that like to spread you out, shoot it around the yard, has grinded itself down now to rock'em sock'em football.
Nobody's been able to get easy first downs, so nobody's been able to go fast. That's certainly taken SMU out of their element.
Off the 26, Murphy. And the catch by Hagens at the 30, maybe toward the 31. He got knocked around. Crossley out there, the corner. Sanders was in the neighborhood as well.
They just keep going after Crossley, and he just keeps making plays. I mean, they have targeted him a lot on the perimeter. He's not given an inch.
He does not have an interception this year. He has a fumble return for a touchdown in the Iron Skillet win against TCU. Wachovia is the one walking around with the belt. He's got 8 career interceptions, including picks in the last 2 games for the Mustangs. Inside give, Peyton Jones looking for a crease and got flipped over. And down the line comes McGill to chop him to the turf right outside the 35.
See, this is Duke's game. This is Duke's game, and that is to get in 3rd and short. Don't get behind the chains, because that's when SMU wants to come after you on 3rd and long. I think Duke's got to do exactly what Manny Diaz said going into the locker room. They got to run the football right here. Tried to throw it on 3rd and short previously. Let's line up and hand it off.
Murphy in the gun with Jones. Here comes the pressure. They're going to hand it back to Jones. He'll break through, first down and more. Out to midfield goes Peyton Jones. His last 2 games, 15 carries, 62 yards. He's had just 2 games this year with 10 or more carries. He may have to have double-figure carries tonight for the Blue Devils to win if the run game gets cranked up. Here's Murphy now. First down from the pocket. Roberts can't bring him to the ground. Now he'll make one more throw and sail it out of bounds.
Listen, Malik Murphy gave that play every chance it deserved and then made a great call. Let's not do something stupid. Let's not put the ball in harm's way. Let's live to play the next down. And you can see there's nowhere to go with the football initially. He's not looking to his right until he gets flushed. And he's trying to buy a second chance. And that's just smart, heady football from the quarterback.
So Murphy was trying to get the play call with 10 now on the play clock. And all of a sudden here is 2nd and 10. Murphy. Looked like he wanted to go to Hagens. Did the ball just come out of his hand?
I think it was
maybe deflected
down at the line of scrimmage by Mike Lockhart, I think, number 9.
Yep.
Reserve defensive tackle. Right? Yep. Hits his elbow. And to be honest with you, very fortunate it did, because I'm not so sure Ahmad Walker, 34, wouldn't have stepped right in front of that, taking it the other direction.
So now 3rd and the full 10 for Duke. At the midfield spot. We have played right around 7 minutes of quarter 3. Duke's just 4 of 9 tonight on 3rd down. That is Taylor, the tight end, in motion. Here's Murphy from a crowd. Oh, Pancol off the shoe tops. Did he get the first down? He did. To the 40 of SMU. Deuce Harmon shoved him out of bounds.
This is pure arm strength right here, because Malik Murphy is throwing this flat-footed with no transfer of weight, just ripping it out there.
8 catches, 86 yards. It's a career high for Eli Pancol tonight. Missed all of last year, was hurt in August in preseason practice. Sorely missed in what was Mike Elko's 2nd year. Back to the run game, and here's Star Thomas. He'll get 3, maybe 4 on the first down carry. And slowly but surely, Jonathan Brewer, the offensive coordinator, starting to fire the engines in the Blue Devil run game here.
Malik Murphy just, again, all arm to Pancol right there. He's just so big and powerful that he can pull things off just on arm strength alone. Sometimes it gets him in trouble. But most people can't make that throw without stepping into it and driving the ball.
10th play of the drive. Murphy back foot throw and a hand out there to deflect, and that was Walker again.
Yep.
It looked like the ball was headed toward Panko. And yet there was pressure coming from Murphy's right side here.
Here's a little mesh point right there, and he's got a rusher in his face. Ball doesn't come out of his hand clean, but again, Ahmad Walker has an interception this year, Tom. Jonathan McGill, by the way, was the guy firing in from the secondary. 3rd down again for Duke. Pressure coming, and Murphy will be sacked. Cameron Robertson, the transfer from North Texas from Plano, gets his 2nd sack of the year. First sack of the night by the Mustangs. They catch him with an A-gap blitz right here, and they can only block one of them. Now you got a free rusher coming right into your kitchen if you're Malik Murphy. And again, when SMU's a zone team, but when they get you backed up, they will come after you. Good call there defensively from SMU.
Scott Simons gets the stop. Here's Cade Reynoldson for the punt. Trying to flip it over. Daniel's going to run away from this. It will hit, take a high bounce, and into the end zone it goes. So the Blue Devils could not get the stop. Look at the wedge here. That would be a short putt for the birdie. Back after this. Well, if you just missed SMU's last possession, Tom, you missed a lot. How about 72 yards? This is Roderick Daniels, who looks like he might score. In fact, it was called a touchdown. Overturned, he went out at the 1. There's 1st down, Lukes.
Yep, 1st down. 2nd down, we're going to hand it off to L.J. Johnson. Then we're going to go back to what looked like it was a touchdown, but his elbow's down. So now we're at 4th down. We run the exact same play again. Don't get in. And on top of it, a 15-yard penalty that allows Duke to get an extra 15 yards to start that drive. So credit SMU for hanging in there and getting the ball back defensively.
Yeah, Duke ran 11 plays before they punted. Bounced in the end zone. Here's Kevin Jennings and the Mustangs with a touchdown lead. And, oh, what a one-hand catch, Brashard Smith. But he gave some ground back, and he'll lose 2, maybe 3 on the play. Ozzie Nicholas takes him out of bounds, the Princeton transfer. There's a look at Aaron Hall. The big D tackle, redshirt senior from right here in Durham. Loss of 1 on the play. Jennings up in the pocket, downfield, and that is Daniels wide open. There'll be no play at the pylon this time. Roderick Daniels scores. 81 yards.
Well, he wasn't getting walked this time, Wes. Just right down the seam on the inside sluggo. Slant and go. You're going to sell the slant because they've been hitting slant, slant, slant. That's on Deshaun Stone, the safety number 8, who's 6'3", 190 pounds. Roderick Daniels, 5'9", 186. That's just a coverage mismatch. But if you recall, the amount of slant routes we've seen from this SMU team tonight, whether it be off RPO or pure quick game, and now you set it up and get down the seam.
First touchdown catch of the year for Roderick Daniels, who's got 2 rushing scores. Jennings is thrown for his first score of the night.
What a throw after taking a shot.
SMU 21, Duke 7. That's 21 unanswered by the Mustangs. And the latest salvo, a 2-play, 81-yard drive, or an 80-yard drive, an 81-yard touchdown pass to Roderick Daniels. There'll be no return for Jones. Duke's going to play from its 25. But quick reminder to you that, boy, it's a big weekend around here. We got Duke basketball tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. John Shriffen and Corey Alexander from the Crow's Nest at Cameron. The Brotherhood Run. Proceeds benefit the Duke Children's Hospital. John Shire's Blue Devils. And some impressive new faces, including Cooper Flagg. There's Malik, by the way, Knipple. Those guys will be around against Bobby Hurley's Arizona State Sun Devils. There is a look at the young man from Maine, the one collegiate player on the 2024 men's select team.
Unbelievable.
Yep. In Luganville's recruiting business, he's known as the #1 guy.
Yeah, that's right.
5-yard play. Wilson makes the tackle on Star Thomas. By the way, basketball, Tom.
Yes, sir.
The season begins on ACC Network and the ESPN family of networks a week from Monday night.
So the exhibition doesn't count?
No, sir. They're doing that for charity, Duke Children's Hospital.
Love that.
Yep. So 5 to go for the first down after Thomas had the 5-yard catch. Here's Murphy now. Slinging, and that's a catch. Terrific grab.
Catch is reeled in by Javon.
Tell you what, Javon Harvey has been targeted 5 or 6 times tonight.
Yeah.
And he's got a couple catches. That's 12 yards and a first down for the Blue Devils. Terrific grab by the former Old Dominion player.
Good grab, good throw, good timing. The mechanics of it, really good. Look at him go up and grab the back point of the football. Well done on the ball skills there.
4 minutes to go in the third. Murphy up in the pocket again, and boy, Pancol, or no, it was intended for Pancol, and it almost ran into Ahmad Moses.
Watch Malik Murphy right here. Felt a little bit hurried. Didn't quite have his feet underneath him. He just sails one high, and you're right. He's got Pancol coming across on the post.
Murphy now 20 of 36, Tom, 201 and a touchdown tonight. Straight drop again. Thomas couldn't clutch it. Off his pads, incomplete. There's another play. That's Alexander Kilgore.
What's he doing way out there?
Trying to stay in front of the running back.
I'm telling you what, he was all over it.
You know, we thought the game might be played a lot east and west tonight.
Right.
We've had moments of north and south, right?
Sure.
But this has really been played 15, 20 yards to either side.
No doubt.
Pressure coming for the Mustangs here on 3rd and the full 10, and the catch is pulled in. That's Jordan Moore making a move into SMU territory. Tackled at the Mustang 40 by Wachovia. 18-yard catch for Jordan Moore.
Really good by Malik Murphy. Recognizes the pressure. He's going to throw one-on-one to the sideline. And then Moore does a nice job extending after the catch.
Thomas trying to get something going in the run game. He got flipped around. There's going to be a flag here. Duke bench was calling, I think, for the face mask on Isaiah Smith, who made the play.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 58. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So that will push it around the 25. Another look here for you.
Again, you start extending with your arms and your hands high. There's not much to grab onto but the face mask. We've seen that 2 other occasions tonight. That's the 3rd one where hand placement has cost them.
5 penalties, 71 yards tonight on Rhett Lashley's club. Duke on the edges of the red zone now. Here comes pressure again, and it's Thomas spreading one tackle, bouncing to the far side, and Star Thomas taken out of bounds around the 12. That play looked dead, Tom, and Thomas kept it alive.
Well, Ahmad Moses comes off the edge. Right there, you see him. He doesn't make the tackle. He's in perfect position. It's set up. The timing of the snap is outstanding. And instead of it being a 2-yard loss, you're off to a race with a fresh set of downs inside the 13-yard line.
Yep. First red zone trip tonight for Duke. Been a quiet night for Thomas. Quayshawn Brown comes out. Jake Taylor has checked in. He's the tight end to the right side. And here's Murphy shooting for the end zone and broken up. Davis Robinson there defending the ball for Panko. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
He's trying to back shoulder this to Panko, but he doesn't get it far enough to the outside. It ends up hitting the defender right in the back. If he throws this with just a little layering and up to the left shoulder, to the left pylon, he gives Panko a chance.
Peyton Jones will be the running back here. Murphy to throw again. This time for Moore. Caught it, falls in, touchdown Duke. Wow. This is some kind of play at the back end by Jordan Moore.
They told us he was going to be limited tonight. Weren't sure how much we were going to see him. Now this time, he throws the ball to the outside shoulder. And even though Moore's tangled up, he secures it with one hand. What a spectacular play on the goal line for the touchdown.
2nd TD throw of the night for Murphy. Polino missed the point. So it stays an 8-point game with 2:11 to go in the 3rd. It snaps the 21-point run by SMU, and Malik Murphy has accounted for both Duke touchdowns tonight. And this is 16th touchdown pass of the year.
Well, he puts it out there, and that's just an outstanding job. And finally, they get the best of Brandon Crossley, number 1, the corner, who's played really well tonight. And Duke's gone after him. That time, Jordan Moore wins the battle.
Yep. Polino has a streak of 81 straight extra points go by the board there with the miss. So the 12-yard touchdown pass caps a 9-play, 75-yard drive time in 2:47.
Well, keep an eye on that missed extra point.
Right.
See if that comes back to haunt Duke as we get deep into the 4th quarter.
Yeah, or force an issue on a score, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. So Degansky will kick it away, and the fair catch is called for. So the Mustangs will take over with 2:11 to go. And don't forget the fall championships, all for you starting next week. Coverage of the men's and women's cross country races begin November 1st at 9:30 Eastern time. You see the Ally Women's Soccer Championship starts on November 3rd. The Field Hockey Championship presented by Geico, November the 5th, and then men's soccer on November 6th. ACC Olympic Sports Championships, the fall edition, are available on ACCN and always for you on the ESPN app. So off the 25, here come the Mustangs. And Brashard Smith spinning for 5, 10, make it 11 yards. On the first down play, Joshua Pickett the stop for Duke out of the secondary. Final 2 minutes of the 3rd, and you like that run by Smith, don't you? Kind of like that, didn't you, Lukes?
I did.
Yep. And Smith again for a yard toward the 32. Let's go back to the first down run here for you, Tom.
Yeah, look what he does to poor Jalen Stinson here. Right, boink. Whoa.
Oh, no. Oh, my.
Now, remember, the counter to that, you know, Brashard Smith has the fake spin where he spins halfway and then goes back the other direction. Got some creativity as a runner. Again, a former wide receiver, great ball skills. They use him everywhere in this offense.
Came into the ballgame 5th in the ACC at nearly 90 yards a game on the ground. 2nd and 9. Jennings going to run with it this time to the far side, and we got a flag thrown. This is in the neighborhood of a hold. In fact, Kendi Charles is litigating for such on behalf of the Blue Devil defense.
Holding offense number 59. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's on P.J. Williams. He's from Dickinson, Texas. Transfer from Texas A&M.
Yeah, they could have gotten Ja'Kai Clark on a hold as well. Along with P.J. Williams.
Kind of a buffet choice, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. More than one, then?
More than one.
Yeah.
But there's only one flag, so you only get to pick one.
Yeah. So now 2nd down and almost 20. Here's Jennings. Sets up Smith with blockers. And Burchard will get to the 36. So he makes up 9. It'll be 3rd and 10 in the final minute of this 3rd quarter.
Boy, for a second, that looked like it was really going to go. And credit Duke, especially in the back end, of shedding some of those blocks and getting to Burchard Smith and bringing him down. That's just good effort, technique, and ability to play off the block.
Daniels, part of that 3-man group at the top of the screen. Duke matching here, Tom.
Right now, they've got Trey Freeman walked out to the bottom of the screen, lined up over a running back. I don't think that's what they want.
SMU takes its 2nd timeout of the half.
Rhett Lashley takes the timeout with 8 seconds left. We will stay right here as we're toward the end of the 3rd. You were talking about the mismatch with the linebacker on the running back. That was at the bottom of the screen.
That was at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, and you had both running backs. You had the tight end and the running back flank to the bottom of the screen. Something to the top of the screen, though, I don't think Rhett Lashley liked. He called a timeout there, and depending on the personnel that they have on the field defensively, if you're Duke, on 3rd and 10, I'm assuming they're going to probably be in nickel right here. See, there's Coach Packey, defensive coordinator at Duke. Just keep the ball in front of us, guys. Just keep it in front of us. Force the ball down underneath and tackle. Done a really good job, Duke defensively, of getting Kevin Jennings uncomfortable and off schedule.
So Hibner is part of that 3-man group at the top there. That's Johnson looping back to join Jennings here. 3rd and 10. Jennings up in the pocket. Now going to run for it and will be held short of the 1st down by about 3 yards. That'll be the final play of the 3rd. So that's going to give Rhett Lashley a chance to decide, do I want to go for 3rd and about 4 or 4th and about 4 here? Or do I want to punt and play good defense? Number 22, SMU leads Duke by 8. We go to quarter 4 next.
Gator.
Well, the decision's clearly been made because Kevin Jennings is talking to De'Aaron King.
Yep.
So SMU's not going to run a play to try and convert 4th and 4. Rhett Lashley's going to punt to open the 4th quarter here in Durham. Great to be with Tom Luginbill, Dana Boyle. Here is Pearson trying to drive one away. Quayshawn Brown at the 12 and almost tripped up. Brown still to his feet as he gets to the 30, and look out, there's the tackle at the 35. Terrific return by Quayshawn Brown, who's got a 23-yarder at Georgia Tech and against UConn, but this is just as good, maybe if not as long.
He's just so sudden and explosive, and then was able to keep his balance after taking a little bit of a nick. Loses his towel, loses the bottom half of his shirt.
So here is Duke trailing 8 from its 36. 4th quarter this year, Duke has outscored opponents 43-23. SMU's outscored opponents 66-17.
Something's got to give.
Malik Murphy, 2 touchdown passes tonight. He's 22 of 40 for 231, Tom.
Much better outing than he had a week ago. Despite the win, passing game was not overly sharp a week ago.
Thomas trying to find a crease, spun around by Walker. I don't know how many tackles Ahmad Walker's going to have tonight. It's not going to be nearly the number. But whatever they say, he's had more.
Yeah, he's had more.
Yeah.
Been all over the field. He's been all over the field, and I'll tell you what, so is Ahmad Moses.
Yeah. Now, by the way, is this guy on your list? No gloves, just tape the wrist, none of the sleeve stuff, right?
Yep.
If he had one of those cowboy collars, he'd be all Luginbill, wouldn't he?
No question.
Yeah.
Might need an elbow brace of some sort.
Second down. Here's Thomas. Cuts back and first down. Booker helps make the play at the 47, but Star Thomas. And Duke now trying, Tom, at least on the first couple snaps here of this possession, to get a little something going running wise.
That's exactly what Manny Diaz wanted when he went into the locker room. Just to give something to balance out the passing game, not look so obvious every time you're snapping the ball that the ball's going to go in the air.
First down and 10 for the Blue Devils.
They're taking their time in that huddle as well.
Panko to the bottom of the screen. And this is Star Thomas again. And that's going to be 5 on first down. Almost 6 for Thomas. What a terrific story he is. Tonight's his 50th career game. Originally, he went to Coffeyville Community College out of Homer, Louisiana, then to New Mexico State. It's amazing what the young man has done in his career. And he will come out of the ball game. And part of a run game. Remember now, Jaquez Moore was the guy that Duke was counting on to be the principal ball carrier. He was injured at Northwestern, has had a hard time getting back to full strength. Peyton Jones replaces Thomas on second down. Murphy to throw, hangs it up, and Panko there. Another terrific catch by Eli Panko. This at the SMU 26.
Man, Malik Murphy putting it up and down. Really well thrown football in the only spot it could have been thrown, with the defender coming off the hash. Jalen Davis Robinson on the coverage, but that was dropped in the bucket.
Boy, it sure was. Terrific throw by Murphy. Panko's over 100 yards on 9 catches, Tom. He's had a great night. First and 10 for the Blue Devils. Jones. And he'll get credit for right at about 4. Walker the stop for the Mustangs.
Well, I'm impressed with this offensive line. Jeff Nord, the offensive line coach, has clearly sent a message to this group, because for 2 series in a row now, we're seeing 4 yards, 6 yards, 5 yards a clip in the run game. And SMU looks a bit tired right now on defense. Got some hands on the hips.
Jordan Moore, who caught the touchdown pass in the second half, to the top. Inside give, and Peyton Jones got pulled down, and that was Kobe Wilson. And now we got a little extracurricular with Justin Pickett and I believe Elijah Robb. No, that's Booker. I think Tank Booker involved in that.
That's 90 or 81, excuse me.
Oh, Jared Harrison Hunt. Sorry.
Numbers rolled up there.
Yeah, Booker's out there as well, but there's Harrison Hunt. He and Justin Pickett exchanging pleasantries.
You're not gonna miss Tank Booker. This is the one that looks like a duplex.
Here is. That's why he's called Tank. Here's Murphy. Third down now. From the pocket, middle of the field, caught. First and goal, Duke, and that's Taylor, the tight end.
Well, he's coming along as a blocker, but this is where he excels. Jake Taylor, just a redshirt sophomore, 6'5", 235 pounds. Nice connection over the middle.
First and goal. Now all of a sudden, here's Jones cracking the 5 to the 4. By the way, that is just Jake Taylor's second catch of the year. And that was third down, and the chips being pushed all in.
No doubt. And again, that's a position that's lacking their normal playmakers, and Nicky Dalmolin and Jeremiah Hazley both out and injured.
And Jones diving for the goal line. Stacked at the 1 by Kobe Wilson and also Wacobia. So Isaiah Wacobia and Kobe Wilson are there, and here comes Boggs. Here comes the extra tackle. Pogorels for the Blue Devils, and Star Thomas is coming back for third down. So all the big uns have come onto the field for Manny Diaz.
This is inside run period.
Taylor and Boggs to the right, the extra tackle to the left. And they're going to hand to Thomas. And Duke has got a touchdown. Star Thomas, his 5th rushing score of the year.
They go unbalanced. You look at the formation, and they just create the cutback lane for Star Thomas. That's a lot of beef up front for Duke. Get good push at the point of attack. Low man wins. And Star Thomas does a nice job exploiting the cutback lane.
10 plays, 64 yards. Time to go for Dos. Brought to you by Dos Equis. SMU opponents 1 for 1. Duke is 0 for 3. Thomas in the backfield with Murphy to tie the game. Murphy wants to throw for the end zone. Pancol, and we're tied. So 9:02 to go now in the ball game. And Duke and SMU locked up at 21.
Pancol using that long 6'3" frame. And then how about going up and plucking it? Malik Murphy puts it right where it's got to be. Duke back in business.
Well, Star Thomas's touchdown run got Duke to within 2, and then Murphy hit Pancol on the 2-point play, so we're tied with 9:02 to go. Great to be with Tom Luganbill, Dana Boyle. Our producer is the birthday boy tonight, Ben Ward.
That's right.
Yep, Bob Frattaroli is our director. Terrific ACC Network crew, and delighted to be with you tonight from Wallace Wade Stadium. And here is Smith to take the kick at the 6. And across the 20 to the 23 is where the Mustangs will get started. Let's take a look at Is It In You, brought to you by Gatorade. Tom?
Well, is it in you? Of course it is, right? I love this play style right here from Duke. I thought that was a great plan.
After the play, personal foul necessary, roughness, kicking team, number 17.
There's the 2-point throw to Pancol. Oh boy, look at this, huh?
There we go.
Oh, one on the house,
it really
boys.
is in him.
Yeah.
That 2-point conversion play, that ball was really well thrown. Just slightly elevated, allowing Pancol to go up and get it. 10-play drive. SMU's got to have an answer here.
Yeah.
Kevin Jennings has been off schedule. They have not been able to go fast and dictate terms to the Duke defense because they haven't been able to get regular first downs.
Ball at the 38 after the penalty. And here's Jennings, and threw it beyond Daniels in the flat. 2nd down. SMU's got 422 tonight. That's the most Duke's allowed this season. Lashley's team comes in posting 439.9, 480 against the league.
Wow.
Yeah. 2nd and 10. Duke bringing the extra man. Jennings tried to throw it back to Hibner, and he could have run, Tom, maybe for the first down.
He absolutely could have run, and I'm not so sure Hibner actually expected the football because he kept drifting away from him instead of settling in there and just sitting.
Boy, Alex Howard came firing out of there.
He moves away from Kevin Jennings right there, but you're right, Wes. He could have tucked that football and ran. Just trying to do too much right now.
So now 3rd and the full 10 for the Mustangs. L.J. Johnson in the backfield. Duke rushing 3. Jennings dancing, circles back. Is he going to throw? Yes, middle of the field. Freeman the interception. And Duke in business at the 37. Freeman, who closed the show against Carolina here in the come-from-behind win. Comes up with the interception on SMU's fourth turnover, and now the Blue Devils with 8.5 to go have a chance to take the lead. And we've got players down for both schools here at the Duke bench. Kevin Jennings is the guy hurt for SMU, the quarterback.
And Kamari Robinson, number 5, the corner, is the other injured player right now.
So we're going to take a timeout while they tend to the injured fellows here. Tie game in Durham when we come back on ACC Network. Well, we're tied at 21 on a Trey Freeman interception. Here's the last SMU play.
Just trying to do too much, Wes. I mean, a big no-no is, number one, being late over the middle or to the sideline, and then throwing late across your body to the middle. But look at the right knee. Kamari Robinson hits Kevin Jennings as they go down, and Jennings is very fortunate that his ankle didn't get caught underneath Kamari Robinson. Fortunately, both players were able to get up and walk on their own accord.
So Duke has got the ball at SMU's 37. And you see Preston Stone, who started the year as the quarterback, of course, for the Mustangs, warming up. Here's Murphy. Run game with Thomas. And Star Thomas will get 3 to the 34. Tackle made by Kobe Wilson.
Well, this is the first time that we've seen SMU play in a self-destructive mode.
Right. 4 turnovers, that kind of thing, right?
That type of thing. Penalties, sloppiness, playing outside of their nature, uncharacteristic to their nature. Kevin Jennings has not been this careless with the football, I don't think, since he's put an SMU uniform on. And you can't do that on the road versus a good defensive football team. Rhett Lashley knows that as well as anybody, and now they're going to have to come up with a way of hanging on and coming up with some more points.
Yep. Here's the give, and this is Thomas working to the near side, and he'll be out of bounds, but I think he's got a first down at the 26-yard line. Oh, they're going to put it right at the 27, which would still be enough. Moses angled him out.
Well, and credit Duke. They just keep hanging around, right? And they kept finding ways to get back into this thing. And really, to be honest with you, they've run the football effectively. When you take a look at last week, 17 points off of 3 forced turnovers. They've got 0 tonight, but they've run the football in the second half, did not do so in the first half. And Malik Murphy has made more plays through the air in this half than they did in the first half.
Samir Hagens, Jordan Moore to the field side here. Pancole to the boundary, and a quick throw, and this is Jordan Moore, and trouble lurking. My goodness. Cale Sanders was there. Brandon Crossley was right there for SMU. They tackle him behind the line. Loss of 2, back to the 29. And I go with Jonathan Brewer here. He's trying to get his best playmaker on the perimeter of the football.
Absolutely. And I'll say this, whatever you do here, if you're Duke on offense, you cannot take a negative play. You've got to put yourself in position to kick a field goal here, as we're under 7 minutes to go.
Here's Kevin Jennings. He's waiting to find out when his next chance is ready. Here's Murphy, a gunshot throw. That's Pancole. Boy, the ball leaves Malik Murphy's hands like it's on a jet. That time Pancole catches it straight up at the 25. It's 3rd down. Crossley right there.
Crossley, another outstanding open field tackle. Right on the catch.
Yep.
And again, you don't see leaky yardage and explosive plays going over the top on this SMU defense. You've got to earn it, and that's what Duke's been doing here in the second half.
So 3rd down here, Tom, and 8. And to your point, you don't want to take a negative play. Nope. Take Polino out of range.
Can't take a sack right here.
His longest field goal, of course, 53 here against UConn. Murphy to throw. Now just going to sail it out of bounds. He almost threw it in the student section. So here comes Polino with a chance to put Duke in front.
It's a really nice job of being fundamentally sound, being disciplined. Elijah Roberts right there really flushed Malik Murphy and put him in a position where he had to throw it away from his defensive end position. But smart play by Murphy as well, not to take the negative play and put the ball in harm's way.
Polino snapped his streak of 81 straight extra points with a miss. Now this is a field goal from 42 to give the Blue Devils the lead. Kick from Polino is no good. He pulled it left. So we stay tied with 5:38 to go. Duke ran 5 plays. Todd Polino misses from 42, and we are still tied at Wallace Wade.
The new 12-team college football playoff begins December 20th on ESPN.
The value of the college football playoff in the long game tonight for somebody like SMU. Here's the give, and Brashard Smith starts the drive after Polino missed from 42 yards with a 3-yard run, and the clock goes. 5.5 and counting now here at Wallace Wade. Polino missed the extra point, now misses for the 4th time this year on a field goal from 42. Second down, Tom, and right at about 7 here. Jennings back in the game. Quick throw. Here's Hudson. Bangs around at the 30 and tackled at the 31. There is a flag down over in front of the SMU bench. Illegal shift on the Mustangs. Mike Roach talking with his crew. Play was whistled at the 31.
Legal motion, offense number 5. It's a 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's against Moochie Dixon. Obviously the head coach of the Mustangs not happy.
No, he was trying to make the case that Dixon moved back off the ball, not forward, and was set.
7 penalties, 86 yards tonight on Lashley's team. So now, second down again, this time 12. Give again, Smith. Not much against the Blue Devil run defense there. Back to the 26. So a 3rd and 9 play here with 4.5 and a running clock.
You kind of get the sense that SMU is a little gun shy, if you will. They're not, you don't feel that aggressive approach that we become so accustomed to them having when it comes to confidence and just laying on somebody and saying, hey, this is what we're doing, and you're going to like it.
Moochie Dixon goes wide to the left. L.J. Johnson's coming to the ball game. He got 3 guys to the boundary. Here's Jennings from the pocket. Shoots it down the field. Intercepted Chandler Rivers. A diving pick at the 39. Wow. 5th turnover of the night for the Mustangs.
That's twice we have now seen a Duke defender. It was Cameron Bergeron before. Undercut a route and run the route for the receiver. That time the receiver being Daniels, the intended target, and Chandler Rivers. Wow.
Jennings has thrown 3 picks tonight. There have been 2 other fumbles by the Mustangs. And Duke's got the ball at the SMU 39. 3:57 to go in a tie game. At 21, Rhett Lashley has 1 timeout.
When you turn the ball over 5 times on the road and you're tied, that's a statistical anomaly in itself.
Chandler Rivers' 2nd interception of the year. And it comes in a 2nd consecutive game. Duke trying to get points for the first time tonight off SMU turnovers. Here's Murphy, hit as he throws, downfield, incomplete. Murphy took a huge blast. Jordan Moore was the intended receiver with Crossley in coverage.
Some contact there, getting after it. I like how they're letting him play a little. Pretty close right there. Malik getting some pressure in his face. officials decided to let the receiver and defensive back and Crossley and Moore duke it out a little bit.
Second down play. Thomas the carry. Right into a stack and thrown back. And guess who gets up off the stack? The big man Booker. Tank Booker and Jared Harrison Hunt.
Duke's got to somehow find a way to get this ball pushed downfield. You can't have a turnover like that. Get that type of field position, get momentum all the way over to your sideline, and not be able to move the football.
Tom, it would be 57 yards right here for Polino. His career best, 53 against UConn this year. He is 3 for 3 from 50 or more.
See how much of it they can get back here.
Snap to Murphy. Here come the Mustangs. Hit as he throws. Lobs it up in the air, and it's almost picked. Falls in between Walker and Crossley. McGill, the corner, came on the blitz. And I believe the injured Mustang here is Elijah Roberts.
Injured on the defense.
Yeah, Roberts and McGill, I think, collided on the play against Murphy. It's going to be 4th down and 9. But first, out to 10 to, I believe, Elijah Roberts here. And with 3:01 to go and 3 timeouts, Manny Diaz could punt this ball, Tom.
Yeah,
he's got 3
could.
timeouts.
Sure.
You see Elijah Roberts.
And SMU hasn't been able to move it. Not only have they not been able to move it, they've been giving the ball back to Duke.
Yeah. So Polino, this would be in the neighborhood of 55. And based on the flags we see at the open end of the horseshoe, he would be kicking into the wind. Now, he'd be kicking into the closed end of Wallace-Wade Stadium. And Todd Polino, well, young man from the Cannon School. You see, that's the missed extra point. And here's the 42-yard field goal. And so Cade Reynolson has come out. And Roderick Daniels stands at the 9. And Reynolson just going to try and flip this over, and he has airmailed it. That is 8 yards deep in the end zone. And now the Mustangs with 2:55 and 1 timeout, Tom. Here they go again.
Well, and let's see how aggressive they are. I mean, obviously, Rhett Lashley's got to be a bit worried about the headspace of his quarterback and the decisions that he's going to make if they choose to be aggressive here through the air and try to drive this ball down. From Duke's perspective, that was not the punt that Manny Diaz wanted to see.
Nope.
Let's see what Kevin Jennings does here in a big moment with an opportunity under 3 minutes to go to drive his team downfield and not make silly mistakes.
SMU's only got 7 yards in the 4th quarter. Brashard Smith spinning, cuts back, 25-yard line. It's a 5-yard run on 1st down with 2:47 to go. Trey Freeman, Aaron Hall make the play for the Blue Devils. Manny Diaz, to remind you, 3 timeouts left. Colin Rogers, longest field goal, 55 at Louisville. Clock continues to run. Mustangs trying to get everybody set here.
They just wasted about 10 seconds trying to get everybody lined up.
Yep. Snap to Jennings, hand to Smith. Brashard headed to the far side, and a heck of a play from the backside. That's Terry Moore. Wow. The junior from Little Washington makes the play.
Yeah, Terry Moore with some edge pressure, number 1.
That's a 2-minute timeout.
Well, we come back. 2 minutes to go. Rhett Lashley's got 1 timeout. He's got the football, and we're locked up at 21 in Durham. Tie game, 2 minutes to go. You see the graphic. SMU started the night 5 of 7 on third down. They're 0 for 4 since. This is third down and 4. Mustangs with 1 timeout. Duke with all 3. Jennings has emptied the backfield. Snap to Jennings. Going to try and keep it to the left side. Took 1 shot and gets the first down. Looks like he broke the plane of the 30.
Wow.
And a first down for SMU, but 1:51 to play in the game, and Mustangs will have to be on the hop here, Tom, with just the single timeout.
Yeah, I have not liked the lack of urgency that they've had in between plays. They've got to get going here.
And here goes Brashard Smith. He got 4 for sure to the 35. 100 seconds left to go in the ball game. And you see the night for Jennings. 3 interceptions in 24 attempts. Couple of fumbles. SMU's committed 5 turnovers. Second down 4. And Jennings on a busted play fumbled the ball. It's picked up. Here goes Nicholas, and he's tackled inside the 15. The 6th turnover of the night for SMU. Turnovers in each half tonight for the Mustangs. Tom, the 3 in the second half have come in the last 7 minutes.
Well, you see Kevin Jennings here, and he's been loose with the football all night. And we're not referencing the errors through the air, but putting the ball on the ground on more than one occasion. And finally, Duke recovers one. It happened twice earlier in the game where SMU had the opportunity to recover their own fumble. And now you've got a tremendous opportunity with great field position. Don't take any negative plays. Try to line yourself up in the middle of the field. You got 1 timeout for SMU. That's it.
So Malik Murphy and the Blue Devils trying to pull off another come-from-behind win. Off the 14, Thomas just rolls into the stack. SMU's got only 1 timeout left. And Manny Diaz can manage the clock and manage the way he tries to win the game, Tom.
Yeah. Let's see. Taking their time. They've won 3 games when trailing in the 4th quarter this season. This would be the 4th.
My goodness. The last 3 Mustang possessions, Luke's, all ended turnovers.
Yep.
2 interceptions and a fumble. Murphy. Straight ahead goes Thomas. Middle of the field. Whistle blows. 25 seconds left. And Todd Polino, who missed an extra point, has missed a field goal, is going to have a chance to win it in the end for Duke.
Yeah, I didn't think there was any shot that Manny Diaz was going to put the ball in the air here. He was more focused on getting it to the center of the field.
Yep.
Duke takes its first time out of the half.
And it's going to be basically a 30-yard field goal for Todd Polino from the dead center of the field.
Well, for a team in SMU that was just pressing all of the right buttons, you know, off of a very lackluster performance in the opener versus Nevada.
Yeah.
And they get into a dogfight with BYU. As we all know now, BYU is a pretty good ball club.
Yep.
They settle in on the quarterback in Kevin Jennings and really started to roll. TCU, Florida State, on the road at Louisville, on the road at Stanford. This is the 3rd road game in a row. I don't know if it's fair to say it finally caught up with them, but they have not been this sloppy and certainly haven't been careless with the football. And you can't afford to do that against a stingy, ready-to-go unit on defense for Duke.
30-yard try for Todd Polino. Cade Reynoldsson will hold, and Curtis Cooper handles the snap. And there is Rhett Lashley's last
SMU takes its final timeout of the half. Be a full timeout.
So the timeout by Lashley, the last one available to the Mustangs. Polino 10 of 14 on the year. He is an 80% kicker in his career. A junior from Cornelius, North Carolina, who went to the Cannon School. By the way, I'd like to alert you, Tom, that the Mark Packer Huddle After Dark lottery tonight, the over. They follow us.
What was his pick?
He said 11-12 or 11 something like that. We were way over tonight. Taylor Tannenbaum, Coach Rick, E.J. Manuel, Eric McLean, Eddie Royal all standing by to recap a busy day in the ACC. And dare I say we've saved the dramatics for the late night here tonight.
Sure have.
So here's Polino. You see Reynoldsson will put the right knee down to take the snap. For the win. Kick is blocked. And SMU falls on it, and we're going to overtime. My goodness. My goodness. Jafari Harvey. Look at this. Harvey right over the top in the block.
Wow.
Timeout. Free football tonight at Wallace Wade. 21-all with Duke and SMU. Little added value with Reese Davis a part of the show tonight, Tom. Huh? How about
cameo?
that? Let's go to overtime, presented by Cheez-It. Here at Wallace Wade Stadium, Brooksfield tonight. Tom Luganbill gets overtime in his check. And Duke and SMU's third meeting is the first one ever to go to overtime. Of course, the last time they played, Sonny Jurgensen was the Blue Devil quarterback. Off the 25. Duke won the toss, elected to play defense. Here's a toss. Smith trying to turn the corner, and he's going to get a yard. Trey Freeman tracked him down. So second down and 9. Boy, Freeman has been terrific tonight. I thought coming into this year, he was one of the best linebackers in the ACC, Tom.
Well, they got 3 of them.
Yeah.
I think he's a fantastic player.
We just didn't know how good Nicholas and Howard were.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you add Cam Bergeron in there.
Yep.
It's a really good linebacking unit.
2 to the top. Tight end and Hudson now to the bottom of your screen. Second down and 9 in the overtime. 2 on the play clock. Snap to Jennings. Here goes Brashard Smith. 10-5 SMU in front first. 24-yard touchdown run, Brashard Smith.
I'll tell you, Brashard Smith looked like he was shot out of a cannon, Wes. Now you talk about explosive. He squirts through this hole so quickly. Nobody touches him.
Right.
He gets tapped at the 1-yard line by a Duke defender.
Here's the point after. Rogers dumps it through. Terrific job by Pearson to get the ball off a low snap from Will Benton the 4th. 117 yards, 2 touchdowns now for Smith, and boy,
nice hole.
Yep.
Gotta get the ball up, young man.
And now all of a sudden, the Blue Devils need to answer.
And Rhett Lashley and this SMU staff are standing on the opposite sideline going, we're leading this game.
Yeah.
We've turned the ball over 6 times, and we're leading this game. Unbelievable. Now it's Duke's turn.
Not only they turned it over 6 times, Kevin Jennings is 0 for 4 with 2 picks in the 4th quarter. Now Murphy and the Blue Devils. Star Thomas in the backfield. Murphy to throw for the end zone. That's Pancol. Touchdown Duke. Davis Robinson was in coverage, and just a terrific throw by number 6.
Duke wasted no time, and Malik Murphy throws a dart to Pancol, who's had a monster day. Going up and securing that football over Jalen Davis Robinson. And what do we have here?
The Blue Devils are going to play for the win. Murphy's thrown for 299 tonight on 27 of 48.
Wow.
Go for Dos, brought to you by Dos Equis. And now SMU a timeout.
SMU takes its first timeout of the overtime period.
Hey, Tom.
It's their final timeout.
Real quick here. Is Manny Diaz accounting for the headspace maybe of his kicker?
He could.
Missed field goal, missed extra point, and a block.
Yeah, whether or not they feel like they can protect it.
Right.
More so than just the chip shot of what an extra point would be. He just seems to want to get out of Dodge right now. Listen, you kick this, you tie it up. Now remember, you go into the second overtime phase and you have to go for 2.
And SMU gets the ball. Duke has to score first.
Correct.
Yeah. Duke is 1 for 4 now in 2-point conversions this year. Of course, they had the Murphy to Pancol 2-point play here earlier in the game. So now, after the Rhett Lashley timeout, here we go.
You got to have your best play. You got to have a little rabbit out of the hat here if you're Duke on offense.
Here's Murphy now. He's got Thomas with him. 3 to the right, Pancol to the boundary at the left. Here's Murphy. Buying time to his right. Throws and incomplete. No flags. SMU wins.
See Malik Murphy try and dump one off late here to Pancol, his go-to guy. Just overthrows it ever so slightly. Jalen Davis Robinson, 13, who Pancol had just scored the touchdown on. In pretty good position there coverage-wise. And that's going to be a call and a decision if you're Manny Diaz that's going to keep you up late into the wee hours of the morning tonight.
9 straight road wins, 13 straight conference wins. Rhett Lashley with Dana.
Coach, 3rd straight conference win on the road. I know it wasn't pretty, but what did you learn about your team tonight?
Well, I learned that we can win when we're not at our best, and our guys are resilient. Now, let me be clear. Duke is phenomenal. They're incredible on defense. Their offense played great. I'm not taking anything away from them. But when you turn it over 6 times and have the penalties and the things we did, it looked like we were going to lose that game 5 different times in the 4th quarter. Our defense forced a missed field goal. Our defense forced them to get no yards and have to punt. Then we block a kick, and then we stop them on 2-point play. You know, sometimes you got to win games when ugly and when you maybe don't deserve to. I don't think we deserve to win, but we're going to take it.
Kevin Jennings with 3 interceptions, and he rode the mentality wave and the momentum wave, really. What did you learn about him?
You know, I think Kevin will be the first to say he didn't play very well. I mean, three picks. A couple really careless ones. The ball was on the ground a lot. Like, I don't know what to say. I've never been a part of a 6-turnover game. But he fought. He kept playing. We're thankful to win and try to get better for next week.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Tom, Mustangs may have some magic about them. Well, sometimes you got to survive, right?
Right. And listen, I love the honesty and the answers right there. that Rhett Lashley gave to Dana, because he's right. You didn't deserve to win the game. You didn't play great football. You didn't even play good football. And you somehow come up with a way to find a way to win the football game. And you see De'Aaron King and Kevin Jennings having a conversation, and they got to get right, and they better do it in a hurry as Pitt comes to town next week.
Boy, Mustangs and Panthers next Saturday will be really big. 1-point win in overtime. Great to be with Tom Luginbill, Dana Boyle. Thanks for watching ACC Network Primetime. Taylor Tannenbaum in the